So I sneak up into the green room, right? And I'm by myself, and I slowly, you know what I mean, that hallway, that green hallway, right? And I open it up, right? And all the chairs and tables are like brushed off to the side, and there's about 8 or 9 people in a circle. There's candles all over the place, and they're all in robes.
What?
I swear to fucking God, dude. They're in robes, and they're chanting, okay? Then I sneak a little closer, but I don't want to make any noise because I think that this is what in my head that I thought Mitzi was there. You know, but it wasn't Mitzi. It was Lily Tomlin.
How many straight days can you survive on only pretzel-based products? Obviously, they're different food groups. You know, pretzel rods are completely different from regular small roll gold pretzels, which are different than Snyder's of Hanover pretzels. You know, Snyder's of Hanover are the fucking north of the wall giants of the pretzel world. They're all different. How many straight days can you survive on only pretzels? It is, I will tell you, I don't know for sure. It is more than 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ari Shaffir's Skeptic Tank. Before I start, this Wednesday, June 8th, Zany's, Nashville, 7:30 p.m. June 8th, in Zany's, in Nashville. Come on out. Doing my hour. And then, who knows what happens at Bonnaroo, but there'll probably be some sort of secret show. It's looking like Friday night. Locations possibility, I wish I could tell you. I would say I would tweet it, but I'm probably not going to want to put anything in writing. So find me, I'll fucking tell you, and then spread the word. I'm thinking it's either going to be the Cinema Tent at like 2:30, or somewhere at the Christmas Village at who knows what time, or somewhere in Tent City, like 2:30, 3 a.m., maybe on Saturday night. But Saturday night, that's Pearl Jam night, and that seems like a drug night. I know that Tame Impala is playing Friday night late, and Blood Orange. I might have to overlap with that. So find me. I'll tell you when it is. It'll be cool. I'll have some cool comics there, and no one will know about it. It's not on the radar. I'm just going to find... Here's what I want to do. I want to find an empty place. I want to find an empty venue and just fucking figure out how to turn the lights on and just be like, whatever time I call it for, it's going to be then. So right now I'm thinking the Cinema Tent ends at 2:20. It closes. Why not 2:30, 2:40? Something like that. You know? Maybe 3 as long as you're doing that. But then you're going to want to go to Blood Orange till the very end. So then it has to be 3:15. Maybe 3:15. Find me. And then when I tell you, tell everybody. But before that, I'm doing my hour at Zany's Nashville. Also just added Seattle, Washington. How could I leave you guys out? I'm doing my best to hit all the markets, and I think I've hit them all. I got Chicago on the market. I got Tampa. Dates are up at arithegreat.com. But Seattle, June 21st at the Crocodile. And then I'm headed straight from there to Los Angeles. Couldn't leave you out. June 23rd in the main room. Ari Shaffir comes home to where it all started. From Door Guy. Oh, what a perfect time to mention that date. To headlining the main room. An hour, myself. I'll find somebody to open. We'll see who. Somebody great. Come on out for that. Get tickets. Limited amount of tickets for that. So full circle. Let's do it. This podcast is about being a door guy. Bobby Lee's on. I have a few different versions of this. So I already did one with Danish and O'Neill about the kind of time period I was a door guy. Then I wanted one from before me. So Bobby Lee's going to cover that. This is Door Guy at the Comedy Store. Mitzi would hire door guys to I guess they're bouncers, but they're not really bouncers. They're door guys. They're all comics, or she calls them wannabe comics. Even though, fucking how rude. We were already comics. We just were beginners. And she'd let us seat people, throw people out. And she wanted us to, I'm pretty sure, wanted us to watch comedy so we could get better at it. So we can get closer to our 10,000 hours. And so I did one with Danish and O'Neill. Don't know what episode that was. Maybe 100, maybe 150. And And I did one now with Bobby Lee. I'm going to do one with Argus Hamilton or somebody like that, an old timer, and I'll do one probably in 2 to 3 years. I'm going to do one with a current door guy, whenever that would be. Don't forget to check out Bobby Lee's podcast, Tiger Belly, on iTunes now. So yeah, come out to the Comedy Store. This podcast is brought to you by MeUndies, you guys. I'm not lying about this. MeUndies, the boxers, a pair of them they sent me, have jumped to the top of my underwear hierarchy. Guys, you understand. Girls, I don't get what you do. Guys, you understand. You have a hierarchy of underwear. It used to be these Calvin Klein black ones that my ex-wife sent me and bought me. But they've been surpassed. Man, those Calvin Klein ones lasted a long time. They've been surpassed by these MeUndies boxers. And the boxer briefs, who on first wearing rode up a little bit, second and third wearing, fucking perfect. I walk around with them, but these boxers are so fucking soft. They're made of something else, like not cotton. So if you go to MeUndies.com/Ari, you get 20% off your first order. It's just underwear. They got sweatpants too. They got the t-shirt they have me, the V-neck t-shirt, that fits good. I wore that a couple times. That fits great. It feels good. I don't know what it's made of, but man, I'm telling you, forget all that. That's all fine if you're into that stuff. These boxers, they're Heath Herring. It's an artist design, and they're just so fucking comfortable, and they're cool looking. They're the tops. They're tops. They're boss, you guys. So get the subscription or a single pair. Get 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Ari. Shipping's free in America and Canada. You can save $8 a pair with MeUndies subscription plan. I didn't have to pay for them. They sent it to me for free, but saving $8 a pair on underwear is not bad. So thank you, MeUndies, for sponsoring this podcast, and really thank you more so for sending what is now my favorite pair of underwear in my collection. I had to throw away some recently. It's sad when you get a hole in them, and then you're like, I got to throw these out, and then like 2 or 3 more wearings, and you're like, I really got to throw these out. It's embarrassing. And then finally, you're in a hotel room somewhere, and you got to jerk off into something. And your socks, you've been on the plane all day, you don't feel like jerking off into those. So, here's his underwear. I just took off, turn them inside out, wrap them around that cock, jerk off, and then trash can city. Let the maid deal with it. By the way, I went to a Met game with Aaron Berg. Aaron Berg did my storyteller show. This is not happening. Every Tuesday, new episode, new story every Tuesday. The Joey Diaz one was last Tuesday. On YouTube, if you go to This Is Not Happening playlist, you'll see them all. It's about 80 of them right now. And every Tuesday, another one. Probably around 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern time, a new one comes out. So don't forget to check back on that playlist. You don't have to subscribe to all of Comedy Central's YouTube. There's stuff you don't want to see on there. There's stuff you do, but if you want to do the stories, just keep checking that out. Bookmark it. I went to a baseball game. Okay, listen, here's the deal. If there's a fucking... By the way, I've never been to Shea Stadium or Citibank Field. It's the Mets Stadium. Fucking beautiful. Really great. Berg bought me a sweatshirt. Hey, by the way, the rule is, if the sun is out, there was a clear ruling. Suns versus guns. The Suns versus guns. When the sun is out, the ruling states that guns may, if not must, also be out. You're at a fucking baseball game. You're at a baseball game. So I took my shirt off. An usher came up. Sir, can you put your shirt back on? I was like, what? Yeah, you got to put your shirt back on. And I even told him, I was like, but the sun's out. He goes, I know, but I don't think he expected that response. He goes, but you got to put the shirt back on. Why, though? Oh, I tell you, Bobby Lee's podcast, Tiger Belly, check it out. Why? The sun's out. He goes, sir, please put your shirt back on. I was like, all right, I'll put it on. But like, when did that become a rule? He's like, it's been for a while. I'm like, when? When did that become a rule? Meanwhile, it's my first time at Citibank Field, so how would I know? And he goes, it's been about 15 years now. Since the old Shea Stadium, you can't have your shirt off. You can't have your shirt off? I mean, maybe in the bleachers. But then Joe List told me, if you look at pictures from the 70s, every dude had his shirt off. Every barbecue, jeans, no shirt. Jeans, no shirt. This just in, According to text, Big J Okerson will be on the podcast next week talking about garbage music. We're going to be promoting Big J's special, whatever it's called, live from something on Comedy Central on June 17th. It's out. So we'll be promoting that, but that's next week. This week, I get to Bobby Lee. But first, why do you put a fucking shirt? So I'm like, but the sun's out. The sun's out. It was such a beautiful day. High 70s, sunny, perfect, sun's out, guns out time. And he goes, sir, you got to put it on. I was like, all right, but why? And he goes, are you buying time so you don't have to put your shirt on for another minute or two? I'm like, yes, I am. Let me take. And he goes, no, put it on. So I put it on. Fucking BS. And then Berg went to go smoke his cigar. And then when we're in the smoking section, well, it's a different usher. The guns are out. And so then I'm walking. We're going to get some pizza or something. And some usher goes, sir, like all mean. I ignored him. I just walked by, pretending like I didn't hear him. Sir. And then he fucking tapped me on my bare shoulder. Sir, please put your shirt back on. I was like, what? Acting like I didn't know. Yeah, put it on. So then Berg, I'm not saying this is why I booked him for This Is Not Happening This Year, because it happened after I booked him and after he did his story and killed with it. But maybe he did it to thank me. Bought me a Mets tank top so I could abide by the rules, and yet the guns could still be out. So Joe List told me if you look in the 70s pictures, guys are always out with their guns out, with their shirts off. Dudes are barbecuing. He said if you look at the pictures of let's look at this right now. If you look at the bleachers from where do the Red Sox play? Fenway. Bleachers, Fenway, 1975 day game. He said that everybody had their shirt off. Like everybody. Images. Bleachers. No, come on, man. Show the field. Well, great. You can't see shit from that picture. Thank you, Google, for fucking it up again. Images. Oh, maybe I'll Google shirts off too. I should Google guns out, if anything. Bleachers. Well, according to these pictures, Joe List was wrong. Seems like you can't find any pictures. You can't find any pictures of Fenway Park bleachers in general, the field of the fans. Empty ones, a bunch of nuns. But that's what you do when you're a guy. You take your shirt off. That's the way you separate yourself from the women. By guns being out. Sorry, women. Yeah, I believe in free the nipple. What am I supposed to fucking suffer just because you can't take them off? Anyway, whatever. So, I'm in my tank top. There's a foul ball down the line. We're sitting on the first base side. The outfield. Some guy tries to catch a foul ball. And it's right on. He's sitting in the front where the railing is. Got to it. Didn't make the catch, but it rolled right up his arm. Show me the stands. Bleachers, stands. Anyway, they claimed it was fan interference, the guy said. Fan interference. So they went to the replay, which I don't mind. I don't mind baseball doing that. Yeah, let's have replay. Let's be sure. And it looked like the outfielder had a chance to catch it. And it wasn't over the line into the stands. It was right on. Like he probably would have not reached into the stands to get it. They ruled fan interference. Fine, it's out. Okay. We all booed, but we all kind of saw it. The guy probably would have made that catch, and then couldn't because his fan reached. But I'm telling you, he reached over like barely. I mean, like his wrist was on the line and his hands were over the line. So whatever, fan interference. Okay. Then they threw him out. They came and got the guy and threw him out of the field. And we all chanted, "Let him stay. Let him stay." To avail? Wrong. To no avail. They kicked him out. There is not a fan in the world when a ball is coming at you, a fly ball is coming at you, where you wouldn't go to try to catch that ball. And I'm not saying he had somebody hold his legs as he reached out. He stood up, his fucking elbows were in his stomach, and he went to catch it. They threw him out for that. What the fuck? This is America. This is baseball. That's one of the dreams. Catch a fly ball. That's what you do. It was sickening. It was sickening. You're supposed to be able to kick him out. I don't even understand. I was going to say I understand a stern warning, like, hey, don't do that again. I don't even understand that. What they should do is go give him another ball. If anything, yeah, now I'm onto something. Well, here we go. Fenway Park had as large attendance. The crowd was so big. This looks like everyone had their shirt on with ties. Maybe that's not the best. Maybe that's not the best example. Oh, but that's like in the 40s. It's fucking bullshit. Anyway, you guys, I don't know what else we have to promote, but let's start the podcast. It's just bullshit. Good, a fun, great day. One of the most boring extra inning games I've ever had, by the way. Fucking 13 innings. Every time I got a runner on base, it was like 2-out walk, 2-out single. It's like, ugh, this isn't going anywhere. The Yankees are garbage this year. And a beautiful day, ruined by the staff at Citibank Field, who not only have no respect for the ruling of Suns versus Guns, which clearly states the Guns may, if not must be out all right, you know what I'm saying. But then throwing that guy out, bullshit. It was bullshit. You know what I like seeing? I like seeing lifers, guys who have season tickets, who just get blotto. I used to think it was wrong to cut people off in the 7th inning, beer. I think it's right now. They get drunk. All right, let's start the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, from Tiger Belly, Bobby Lee's new podcast. It's Bobby Lee on Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, episode 267. Door Guys, number 2. Starts now. Oh, and by the way, if you do go to the Comedy Store and you see a door guy, let me reiterate my campaign. Guys, they're poor. They're fucking poor. If you want a good seat, especially in the main room, if you want a good seat, throw them $20. They'll get you a booth. Just throw them $20. It's that easy. And if you have like an extra nug on you, some weed, those guys are broke. And they all smoke pot. And they all smoke each other out. If you give it to one, they'll all smoke each other out. So let me start my campaign again. Give a nug to the door guy. Give a nug to a door guy, everybody. It'll make his day. Bring a little nug and say, hey, thanks for seating me. Here you go. Little nug. Give a nug to the door guy. It'll make his day. And also, if you have a lead on certain of the drugs that I like at Bonnaroo, help me out. And mushrooms in Calgary. All right, let's start the episode. Skeptic Tank 267. Door Guys number 2 with Bobby Lee starts now.
It's a nice place, though. How long have you been here?
I've been here for about 7 years now.
What?
6 years. Yeah.
Ever since you got kicked out of Paulie's place?
Yeah.
By the city?
No, yeah, the city said, yeah, this is illegal. You could die in here.
It was right above the hill. It's so tenuous.
I understand that.
I guess it must be okay.
Yes, but Paulie Shore's not the greatest landlord either, though.
Or architect.
No, yeah, I mean, he would go like, you know, he would be in my house.
He would just come in?
No, I would be like at the coffee shop, come home, and you're just sitting on my couch. And I'd be like, dude, this is not like you're, I mean, I know you own this place, but it's like, I'm renting it, so you can't come in here. Dude, it's my place, brah. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, and then he was charging me $2,500 a month or something.
For that little spot?
Yeah, yeah. And then the reason why I bought this place is because Dov Davidoff found out that I was paying that much.
And he goes, no.
He slammed me against the wall,
He's a
right?
real estate
And
guy.
yeah, and he goes, "You're gonna buy a fucking place."
You bought this?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I go, "All right, I will." You know, but Yeah, it was Dub's idea, but yeah, Paulie. I mean, I love Paulie, but you know.
He wanted me to live with not Crest Hill, the place above Crest Hill, the place that place was attached to. He was like, "You should live there with Bobby. It'll be fun because you guys hate each other." It's back then.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then it was like, I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to." And he goes, "Why, man?" And then he goes, "So it's $1,900 a month," and I'm like, "Oh, I pay $1,000 now." And he goes, "It's a Sunset Strip, bro." And I'm like, "I live on the Sunset Strip right next to Pink Dot,
yeah.
and I don't have Pauly Shore as a landlord, and I live by myself.
Yeah.
Why would I want to pay more to get how many roommates? Just 4 or 5
Yeah.
that you choose?" And he goes, "What do you want me to tell you?" I'm like, "Tell me nothing. I've never expressed interest in living in this place. I don't know why you think I would, just because you got it in your head that I'd want to."
Yeah. And even if Pauly Shore wasn't your landlord, it's above the Comedy Store, like above the parking lot. So at like 4 in the morning, I'd be asleep and I'd hear Renazizi drunk. Come down here, Lee. You know what I mean? Let's duke it out or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, I gotta fucking get out of here.
I remember one time in the main house, somebody rented it. And you go there, look during the day, like, what a great view. I love this place. And then Brody Stevens is playing fucking bucket drums at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then people are like, shut up. You're like, you should have done your research, man, because it's going to happen every night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't move into Pauly's house. Any of them.
No matter where it is.
Have you seen Mitzi lately?
No, I think I ran out of time. I was going to go over there. Fuck, I'm leaving on Wednesday. I'm running out of time.
You go over there sometimes?
No, I wanted to.
When's the last time you saw her?
A few years ago.
And you went to her house.
Yeah.
Does she remember who you were?
Barely. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to see her like this. I want to see her as that fucking cunt who would fucking ruin people's dreams. Like, you're not ready. Cross it out.
Yeah. Light 'em. He did that. She did that to Louis C.K.
Light him?
Dude,
She threw up a light him at Louis
he
C.K.?
fucking showcased. I was there.
Yeah.
He auditions,
Yeah.
all right, and she goes, line him, right? A minute in. And I turned to her, I go, Mitzi, he has an HBO special. I mean, because back then he had
what it
that
meant,
30-minute HBO special,
Uh-huh.
and he got off after a minute, distraught. And I looked at Mitzi like, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
But you can't confront her.
Say anything to her.
Because she's a witch. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got Hedberg once. His management called in. He's like, can he have, he's there Thursday through Saturday. Can he get some spots? I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm Mitch Hedberg wants to do spots here. Oh.
Yeah.
Is he paid regular? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so she was like, fine, give him 2 spots. So I thought, okay, fine, Thursday, Saturday. And then she called back, no, fucking Bruce Smirnoff called in. Cancel one of his spots.
Yeah.
So I had to call everybody and say, hey, sorry, but you can't do Saturday.
I saw Steve Harvey walk into the back hallway.
Yeah.
He goes, I hate this club, right? And he spits on the wall.
Really?
Yeah. He literally spit on the wall. And you know what? At the time, I was like, I fucking totally understand that. You know what I mean? That's like, because he probably showcased 1,000 times. Mitzi was like, get him off. And then like, you know what I mean? He was probably distraught over it.
I mean, the amount of like, also a lot of people, they weren't ready. And so they go like, fuck her for not passing me. Look what I became. It's like, yeah, but you weren't then. So you
Right.
think about how bad you were at the time.
Right.
But no one does. And then they go, fuck her.
Yeah.
Like even Seinfeld, when he came in the other day, he was like, I wrote this place off for 30 years.
Wow.
He said, I was here in 1979. Was the last time I was here.
Wow. Was he there at the Comedy Store
He
recently?
was hanging out with Sebastian. Sebastian's like, I gotta go do a spot. He goes, oh, the store? He goes, why don't you come in, man? Why don't you come in? And he had gone there with Shanling to do his Comedians in Cars.
Yeah.
And they just went and did an interview in the main room, kind of peeked into the OR. But then he was like, all right, I'll go in. And Sebastian brought him up. He was like, I haven't performed here.
He did stand up?
Yeah. You didn't hear about this?
No.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Wait. So Seinfeld did stand up at the Comedy Store?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh my God, were you there?
No, I came in later that night.
I always miss the good shit.
Yeah.
I always miss it.
There's tons of good shit there.
Yeah,
So
dude.
you think you miss the good shit, but there's just constantly good shit
I
going on.
know. I've
But
seen.
Seinfeld is like, what?
But because of also you know how he feels about the Comedy Store.
He was like, I hate this place. She
Hates
told me
it.
I had never had a future.
Yeah.
She told me like you'll never make anything. And I wanted to spite her.
Yeah.
She told me he used to sit in his car outside where she lived. She goes, I would take my walks and he'd be sitting there going, still think I'm nothing.
Wow.
Like he would wait there for her.
It's unfucking believable.
People hated her.
I know. I was so scared of her.
Me too.
She would walk in and you would freeze.
Yeah.
Right. And you go, hi, Mitzi. And she would go, oh, you. It's you.
She could see the neediness too.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I'm there right now, or you're there right now, and one of us walks in, the other person walks in, and we're park our car, we're going. You might, in the middle of a conversation, go, "Hey, what's up, Ari?" And then back to your thing. You don't feel different.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
her, it's like, well, should I make a joke? Should I not?
Yeah.
Should I get her
Especially
something?
when she was watching you, right?
What are you watching you?
Like on stage.
Oh, yeah.
That was always the worst because you literally felt like you were showcasing again.
Oh, every time.
Every time.
Oh, you mean even after you were regular?
Yeah, you're past. You know what I mean? You feel good. She comes in. You're like, oh fuck, I could be deregularized.
Oh, she's done it before.
Yeah, she's done it before.
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of people when they got passed. They were just like, if she's coming in, let me know, and I'll just cancel my spot. It ain't worth the risk.
And the shit that she used to do, like we missed the times where she used to tell people what their new name was and what they had to wear.
Like Joey Bananas.
Jackie Graham, yeah. Jackie Graham.
What did
in the 70s,
yeah.
right? Jackie Banana.
Jackie Banana.
Right, so Jackie Graham, this guy who showcases for Mitzi, and she goes, your new name is Jackie Banana, and you have to wear yellow on stage. So the rest of his career, he went up on stage and wore yellow, and his name was Jackie Banana. He did that. She did that with Jackson Purdue.
What did she do with Jackson?
She goes, you have to wear a purple turtleneck on stage.
Why? How do you define a purple turtleneck?
I know.
With
So-
these good ideas, or she just goes, I'll just fuck with this guy. What do you think?
No, because she would give them spots. She's in her head. She's creating a character. You know what I mean? Like
Because she told Roxy, she was like, I want you to go, because Roxy sold balloons at the park, you know? And she goes, do something with your balloons. Like, go, put balloons in there. But I think it might have been like, I don't know, you're terrible. Maybe fucking do something with the balloons. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Roxy took that as like, she told me I have to do my balloons on stage.
Oh my God, she was one of those. I used to avoid the fuck out of that girl.
Yeah.
I mean, she's nice.
She's nice enough.
Yeah.
But she just wasn't a comic, so it's almost making you mad at her for like
Yeah.
trying this thing and being bad at it.
For Francesca Hilton. Ah, man.
Dude, I went off on her on a podcast last year.
So we explain to people who she is.
She is Zsa Zsa Gabor's daughter.
Yeah.
And Hilton.
She's a Hilton.
From the Hilton.
But like every family, every famous family has that one like crazy
fuck up black sheep.
Yeah, like Michael Douglas has a brother. What was his name? Eric Douglas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember Freddie Soto?
He came and kicked his dog.
Yeah,
right?
threw his dog into the middle of the street.
What are you gonna do about it? Like an angry queen?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Just punch your
He
dog.
died, I think.
That guy?
I think so. Yeah, but so Francesca Hilton used to be a comic.
She gets a salary.
Yeah.
As an allowance. She gets an allowance at like 55 years old.
Yeah. And she's
Nuts.
fat,
gross.
thick.
Zsa Zsa Gabor's dog. Like,
Yeah.
She comes from beautiful people.
I know. I don't know what the
Paris
fuck happened.
Hilton. She's related to Paris Hilton.
I understand that. Yeah. And she just didn't give a fuck. I'll eat donuts. I won't wear makeup.
She would come into to the showroom, to the OR, and she would just talk on her phone. And he'd be like, Francesca, shut up. She goes, well, I have to talk to them. Like, Francesca, we're not getting into an argument right now. Just go outside to talk on your cell phone. It's not an injustice.
Yeah.
Look how no one else is on their cell phone.
Yeah. And when she comes in the club, she doesn't come that often anymore, but when she does, I have to literally run the other way. Like I hide behind
Why don't you think
cars.
she comes in anymore?
What?
Why don't you think she comes in anymore?
Well, I mean, I think these people now, because the Comedy Store wasn't the way it was.
Nope, you're wrong. Here's
What do you
why
mean?
she doesn't come in anymore.
Why?
Well, I did this podcast, and me and Benji, I think we're doing an intro together, and we
Yeah.
started talking about it, and I was just going off how shitty she was.
Yeah. She heard it.
No. But the next morning, news report, she's dead. That's why she doesn't come in anymore, because she's dead, Bobby.
Well, no, wait.
She
Stop.
died
No,
like a year ago.
I don't think Francesca Hilton died.
She is.
Are you
Look it up.
fucking? Are you fucking kidding me right
No,
now?
Francesca Hilton
I feel
died.
so fucking
It
bad
was
right
like
now.
while I was recording that podcast,
I feel
shitting on
so
her?
fucking bad. She's dead.
she was probably having the heart attack.
God.
She's probably
Francesca. How do you spell that?
Francesca
C.
Hilton.
I know.
Do you know Hilton?
Yeah, there it is.
You see it?
Francesca Hilton.
Death. Put that in.
She died January 5th, 2015.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was so funny because you're like,
Well, I'm going to
"Oh,
avoid
I
her
wonder
ghost now.
I was recording a special. She wanted to do a spot. She came in like, oh, you can't right now. We're doing a special here. The club shut down. She started honking. Like, why can't I do it? Just laying on the horn. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
They're recording something inside. There's no spots.
How did she die?
I think of awfulness.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
There's a few people I don't like. I'm not going to mourn you.
But
I'm glad you're gone.
Johnny's app.
He's still alive.
I know.
He was there.
If he died, would you mourn?
I would say there was some good memories associated with Johnny Zapp.
Yeah.
Because like I told you, Ingram trying to mourn Freddie Soto and him talking to him about fucking days prior.
Yeah.
Like those are fond memories for me. Of how
Ask me
awful he was.
questions. Ask me who I would mourn, and I'll
Okay.
completely honest with you.
Okay, who would you mourn?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, can you mourn from 1 to 10 or no? Like 10
yeah,
being
sure.
like just
Yeah, a little bit.
completely distraught.
Yeah, like-
1 is like no tear, but you're sad.
Like when Freddie died, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
I was like,
dude, that
no,
was
that's not true.
devastating.
And then when it hit me, I just had to sit down for like 2 hours. I was like, no.
Okay, give me a name.
Mitzi. Keep in mind, she no longer has power. She will not listen to this.
She's not listening to this right now. But
will.
Paulie can listen to this.
He does, and I shit on him all the time on this podcast.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, I'd probably 6 because of the fact that she actually passed me, and I owe her that.
I would feel bad about it. I wouldn't like tear my clothes, like, oh no, because also we see it coming.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd be like, oh, fuck.
What number?
I might fly home. If I'm in New York, I might fly home. For the
What number?
6 or 7.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But that's like, that would affect
That's
me.
pretty
I would really
good.
think about
That's
it.
pretty deep.
Oh, wait, when Fat James died, I was like, good, you guys. It's good. Ari, that's hard. We were all annoyed by him. It's
No.
better that he died than a stranger.
Dude, I got him a speaking role on Matt TV.
Did you really?
Yeah, and he would have sucked my dick every day after that. Literally, I'll suck your dick, man. No, man, I'm good.
How about stop putting stuff in your mouth and just lose some weight, man? Don't suck my dick. Just do a lap. Do a lap.
So, give me a name.
Renazizi.
A 9.
A 9, yeah. That would really.
Yeah, that would be really
Wait,
devastating for
what?
me. Yeah, devastating. Not a 10 is like my mom and dad.
Right.
So 9, 8, 9. That's pretty good for Raz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little less than
what
Stevie.
about you?
That'd be up there, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a name. Court McCowan.
Oh, not bad. I like
pretty
Court.
good. Yeah,
I
yeah,
like Court, but
yeah.
he's a friend. But he's
He's a
never been
friend.
like a super part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
More than Mitzi.
Yeah.
Less than Steve.
Yeah. So an 8.
7, 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would have to be a 9.
But out of 10. It's not out of like.
yeah.
It's not just like a C
out of
plus. It's
1,000.
like,
Yeah. Mine's a 9.
9.
Yeah,
9
it would devastate me.
Do you know him from the program?
Well, we shouldn't say that, but yes.
Oh, yeah. You guys are both so open about it. It's anonymous. You're forgetting anonymous.
Well, he's open, so yes,
Yeah.
that's how I know him. But and he opens for me sometimes on the road. I mean,
that's
I just
cool.
have
That's cool.
Are we gonna get in trouble for this game?
No.
It's fun, kind of.
Oh, me and Kevin played this game once. Like, if you could have anyone at the Comedy Store who could never have existed, and we made a list of like 50 people. Like, I hope they were just never born. Not die.
Wow.
I don't want
Kevin
you to
who?
vote for them. Kevin Christopher.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's great.
I'm pretty sure your name was on there.
That I was. Oh, this is when you hated me.
No, you know what? It might have been before that. So I might have not put your name on there. If it was when I hated you, then you weren't on there. Then I'd be like, no. But guys are like, a little annoying. Like, yeah, get rid of them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think. The problem is you can't say these things because if they get to them, like, what the fuck, man?
I know,
I
yeah,
might
that's
have
that's
to
a problem.
see
That's a
them.
problem.
So it
yeah.
has to be someone like I'm no longer see or like Charles Fleischer, let's say.
Yeah, that would
I'd
be.
be like, sure does bump. He's nice once in a while, but he bumps. Yeah, make him not exist.
oh, really?
you know,
Yeah.
it's like-
I'd want him to exist
You would want him to.
Oh, yeah,
exist. Yeah.
because I thought he was really good in that Zodiac movie.
Oh, he's in that.
Yeah, that Fincher movie,
Oh,
and
cool.
then he was Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. There's some guys that were on that list that now I'd be like, no, and I would mourn them.
Like who?
Brett Ernst was on that list
Why?
because I was like, I don't really know him.
Yeah.
Just get rid of him.
Yeah. Yeah,
always
yeah.
tanning
I
himself
get,
in the
yeah,
parking
yeah,
lot,
yeah,
fucking cranking up his
yeah.
Guido music
I
so
get
he
it. I get what
dance.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of him.
All right, let me ask you, Jason Galern.
Would I mourn?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if it would be above Court or not. This is what they do for negotiating salaries for Comedy Central specials. They
Yeah.
go, well, you can't make as much as Renazizi. He's on a show. But you got to make more than Kurt Metzger. So we got to make a line for you. But if we go too close to Renazizi, then the next guy's going to have to make above you.
Right.
So you have to choose the exact number.
Yeah.
So I think Galern, we right around Court number.
Okay, good. 8.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's an evil game.
This is an evil game.
I think we're like not associated.
Yeah. Yeah. Because now we're gonna get into names that I can get in really big trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Okay.
John Caparillo.
Oh. How much would I mourn him?
Yeah.
He'd be an interesting one. He's like a lesson to me of like,
In life.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
be careful about becoming something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I still like Cap. He just pulled away so hard from everybody.
Yeah.
That if he went from like one of the guys to like a diva,
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 7.
a 7. I'd probably
Even
say
though
6.
he hates me.
Yeah, he hates you.
Oh my, he hates me. He'll never talk to me again.
Why?
Because I went on Joey Diaz's podcast and I talked to Joey about how I felt about John and the things he used to do. And I defended him in the sense that I said, you know, as he got older, I mean, you know, recently in the last 3 or 4 years, he's gotten completely different. He's a different guy.
Yeah.
He says hi.
That's what I told him. I was like, this is all from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, none of us really care anymore.
Yeah,
But
that's what
if
I
you're
said.
going to ask me about the time,
Yeah.
that time was wrong.
Yeah, he was the worst at the time, but you know, yeah, but I mean, his text to me was insane.
Why? What?
I'm a septic tank of fucking bullshit. That I'm a joke thief, which I've never been accused of. Yeah, that nobody there likes me. You know what I mean? And it's like,
That's not true.
I mean, I know
guys.
who my enemies are.
For sure, I have some enemies.
Right, and I know who are my allies, and I have more allies than enemies, and I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, I'm not going to have everyone like me.
Well, he says to me, he wanted me to explain to him why Diaz was upset, and I was like, honestly, I haven't talked to him yet, but I can guess.
Yeah,
And here's what I think it is. And he was like, I never did that. I never. And it's like, well, Caporal, it's not. We all know you did. It's not a question of that. He goes, that wasn't my intention. I'm like, your intention of talking to the booker. It doesn't matter what your intention was. You
Yeah.
can't- I was talking to somebody once. I almost said the name, and he was hitting on some girl, and then she went into the bathroom, and I was like, I saw him hitting on the girl, and I was like, you still with your wife? Like, are you still with her? And I was new, and I didn't and he was like, shut the fuck up. She's right in the bathroom.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But, like, be careful who you're, like, you
Right.
have to know, like, this guy chooses spots. So you can't, like, if I'm talking to Adam,
Yeah.
eBay, and I want to shit on a comic, and forget it. Sorry.
Have you been in trouble for like saying things and not knowing who was listening, and then
like,
you got a
swingers
huge
with you? Not swingers, toy tie?
like what happened to me in Toy Tie? Yeah, yeah. Have that ever happened to you?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Not where it's like, oh, this is the exact wrong person as part of this group of people.
yeah. I mean, I've
no.
literally burned. I literally don't even understand why I still work because I've burned so many bridges in that way where I've like said shit. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they're like right next to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
With you, though, it comes from a place of just wanting people to like you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Not
I
getting
love your
spots.
analytical, like, because you've been doing that even during our fight.
Yeah.
When we hated each other for all those years, right?
yeah.
You're very, like, you know, therapeutic in a way. You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean?
I mean, you would say things like about my character defects, right? That I do have, but it's like in a fight, you don't bring up character defects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Your problem is you're self-centered, and you know what I mean, and you're so needy. You know what I mean? And you talk about like my flaws, right? Whereas usually people go, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, I try to dig, I guess.
Yeah, you dig. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Why did we?
What?
It's so hard to believe that you and I hated each other.
It's women,
for
man.
so
It's
long.
women. I can't, like, I see younger guys now, and I'm like, listen, I get it. They drive you crazy. But you can't let women get in the way of your friendship. It's just like, whenever somebody brings it up, like, can you believe this guy hit on my ex-girlfriend? It's like, yeah, man, I can. Because she's as hot as someone who you wanted to hit on. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I've seen it 1,000 times already. Let it go. Just say you're sorry to everybody and just get on with it. You'll be over it in 2 months.
Yeah.
Just don't make these lines in the sand of like, it was so shitty. I fucking lost years of my life over like a hatred.
You were that angry about her.
And then it was beyond. Like, I didn't even care about her anymore, but the hatred stayed.
What? That was so, yeah, because like years even, you would walk by me and go, I just let you know you're stupid. And you guys, you're just a dumb person.
I knew that
And,
bothered
and then
you.
you would just walk out and I'd be like in my car going, that fucking fuck. I fucking hate that fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have a way of doing that where, remember that one time you threw ice in her face?
Water. Ice water. But the basis of it was water. The ice is only in there so it cools down my drink.
but still.
Yeah.
Ice is like shards. You know
But
what I
dude,
mean?
I look back on that now and it's embarrassing.
That you
It's
did that.
Embarrassing.
That you did that.
Yeah, so I like these guys. I'm like, guys, you're gonna feel awful about this, the behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
You're not justified. You're not like, honorable in your hatred. It's just not that. It's just somebody you don't like and no one else gives a fuck.
Yeah. God, you were so
water in her
angry.
face.
I know. While she's sitting there on the patio.
And then Duncan was trying to you threw water in a 92-pound woman's face. And I'm like, well, I don't know if her weight has anything to do with the amount the water would dry.
Yeah. And then when Dove and Brian stood up when you did that and got in your face, and then you know what you said to them? I don't know you guys, man. I don't know you guys. So, you know what I mean? And they're like, all right. And they just kind of backed away. But
Brian came back and goes, oh, I didn't realize you had a history with that girl.
Oh, really?
I thought it was
he
just a
did?
stranger or
Yeah,
an audience
yeah.
member. I was like, you can't do that. But if you have a history, then I'm out. I get it.
because you and I had a history before, like a good
You're
one.
a mentor to me. You really helped me along.
I mean,
in stand-up.
you know what I mean? You shit on my car.
But that was out of
Fun, though. Out of fun. Funsies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you fucked a girl in a hotel room in La Jolla while I was in the closet with her friend.
Yeah, yeah.
And she wouldn't fuck me, but I got to see you fuck through the little
Something.
blinder
At least
thing.
something.
Yeah, and
Whatever happened to that girl? Do you know? Probably.
I don't even know what they look like.
Me neither.
You know what I mean, I didn't get to fuck. I sat in a room in a closet with her fat friend while you got to fuck the hot chick.
No.
I never kissed. You think I fucked?
No. I'm saying that your hot example. No, the one you had was the hot one.
And what'd you have?
The grossling.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was thinner, but she was like bone thin. And
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was like witch-like.
Yeah, but it was amazing. She had a
Sex?
bike. Was there a bike involved?
There were
Something like
bikes,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I told the story on my show. This is not happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about the first time he took me to Tijuana. It was all part of that trip.
Oh, my God.
I became a comic that day.
I've been to Tijuana.
You need your passport now, right?
Yeah, but when's the last time you had a brothel? Went to one of those brothels?
At Alita's?
Yeah.
I went in Brazil once.
No, but it's Tijuana.
Oh, not to Tijuana. I went to one
15 years?
And
12 years.
I went once after you. One time after you and I went. Probably a year later. So at least 12.
It used to be the best.
It's the best, man.
So
And it's
cheap.
so dangerous.
Yeah.
This feeling of oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but they were pretty safe. I never even really heard. I favor him got punched in the face.
It's
I think by, like, a cop or
Caparilla
something.
did it too.
Cap fell in love with one of them.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to move her up.
Yeah. I know.
So he hates you. That was my point. It was like he was like, well, I was like, when you were kind of like a diva and stuff. He goes, well, you used to be an asshole, and I wanted to be like, yeah, man, but we're not talking about me right now. But the thing is, yes, and there's people who are never going to forgive me for that time.
Yeah.
And that's the cross I'll bear.
But what John doesn't realize is that you owned up
To it.
to your behavior,
Yeah.
and you apologized, right? And I'm fine with that, right? But John doesn't think that he did anything wrong,
Right.
And so when you're talking to somebody like that, there's nothing you can do.
There's a difference between an excuse and an apology.
Yeah.
An apology is if I'm a cop, like, I'm sorry I shot your son, but he was pulling a gun on us. So, that's the excuse part. But the apology is just like, I'm so sorry this happened.
Yeah.
Like when I apologized to Natasha, it wasn't like, I'm sorry I threw water in your face, but you have to understand, you were in my home. The conversation was my home, and you were taking that away from me.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want to say something? That's fine. I don't care because it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a program kind of thing.
Yeah, and also John was like, I'm like, well, you had a problem with Dom Herrera, and then he goes, fuck Dom Herrera. That's what he said on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's so weird that you would say that because no one ever says that.
No one says that.
Because Dom is such a nice guy, right? So he doesn't. I go, so in the past, you don't think you did anything wrong? He goes, no, you guys all misinterpreted everything,
thing.
every incident, right? And I'm like, well, then there's nothing at this point that I can talk
That you
to you
can't say
about
anything.
because you won't own up to anything. You think that the world is against you.
Yeah.
And I know the things that I did wrong in my life, right?
Well, yeah.
And I'm ashamed of a lot of things that I've done.
Sure.
But you still have to own
Makes
up
you a
to
better
them.
person.
That's how you grow.
Yeah. You're like, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And the way I did is by owning up to it. So now this happened with you. I remember you were driving me around. I was getting used to the Comedy Store. There's things I remember when you started there, and you're like, I don't know how any of this stuff works.
Yeah.
I remember I picked up a Mencia CD off the front TV
Yeah.
of the front bar.
Yeah.
There was just one up there. I was like, oh, I'll listen to it. I heard it, and I talked to Freddie. I was like, hey, I honestly didn't know how it worked. I was like, I hear a lot of you in there. Like, is that a thing where you guys like share or something? And he just puts his head down and walks away, all sad. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't understand what that meant, like stealing and stuff. But I remember asking you once, and I was like, we're driving around. I was like, hey, a lot of people hate you.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence. I don't know if it's your voice or something, but you're doing something that makes multiple people
Yeah.
hate you.
Yeah.
I think now you're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What it is.
I mean, I know now
Yeah.
why they did.
Yeah.
I know in every circumstance when somebody doesn't like me, I'm aware of why they don't.
Yeah.
But I've changed myself. So, when you're young and show business and stand up is your number one thing and you have to make it, you're in the same boat with 1,000 other dudes that have the same kind of mentality. And when you have a bunch of young, hungry people who want to make it, and there's only a few slots open, it's going to be cutthroat, and people are going to cry and get angry, and there's going to be rage involved, and that's just the way it is,
Yeah, I mean, Mitzi asked me to go spy at the Improv to see who was there. She goes, I want you to report to me which one of my Comedy Store regulars are over there, so that she could get them in trouble and ban them or do something to them.
Yeah.
And so now I'm a young guy who's like, I don't want to anger Mitzi, but at the same time, I don't want to piss off all these guys who, they're not doing anything wrong. These are my colleagues and the people I look up to.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just.
Did you do it?
I asked Freddie, and he goes, just give her some names of people who don't go perform at the Comedy Store anymore.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Give her Tom Dreesen's name. You know?
You
ain't gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, that's a very fine line, and you don't know the path. And if you fuck up as this young guy, people blame you forever.
Yeah.
And you just, at some point, you're like, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. And guess what? I made the wrong decision. I know how it was wrong now.
Yeah, but that situation, though, it was whatever Mitzi said. Right, yeah. Because she told me there was a comedy club next to the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Moondoggies?
No, it was in La Jolla.
Next to the Comedy Store in La Jolla.
Yeah, right. And
this is when you were a door guy.
Yeah, and that club was closing, so she's like, go over there and find doorman for me.
Okay.
And I knew that Dad Fan was working there.
Okay.
So I walked over there,
Fan.
and I went to Dad. I go, hey, dude, I know this place is closing, but Mitzi is offering you a doorman job. And he goes, no, I will not. And then Chris, this guy named Chris, his friend, walks up to me and slaps me in the face.
Which Chris?
His name is Chris Zooman Clobber.
Who's Clobber?
Yeah, he was called. They called him the Zoo Man. He used to do animal noises on stage, and he slapped me, and I walked out like just feeling like I want to fucking kill this fucking guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that was like Mitzi's like espionage shit that I had to do.
Wasn't that was Freddie and not Corey? No. There was a few people that were mad at you. Was Freddie mad at you for you saying something about a La Jolla club or San Diego
That's
club?
what it was. Yeah.
What was he mad at you over?
I mean,
keeping in mind you're not the same person.
He's also dead.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, I mean, if I explain it to you, you know what I mean. It's not.
I've never really gotten a.
I'm going to tell you what it is. All right. Okay. Fuck it. So. It's hard to explain, but it's like Mitzi, basically, I'm going to do it the simplest form possible. Okay. Mitzi wanted to fire everyone at the La Jolla Comedy Store. From the management down.
Why?
She just wanted to revamp it.
Okay.
Right? So, and the people that had been working at the La Jolla Comedy Store had been there since the 70s.
Oh, since it opened.
Yeah, you had Fred Burns, Ron White, not Ron White, Ron something, all the waitresses.
Fred Burns.
Right,
yeah.
Remember Fred?
Uh-huh.
And Fred Burns,
crippled guy.
Yeah, he's crippled. Yeah,
he died.
He died, yeah, on a boat. But
when he died, I was like, oh, too bad.
Yeah,
you might not have had the same experience.
I cried.
Okay,
because he gave me my start, Fred Burns. So anyway, Freddie drove from L.A. to San Diego with Mitzi in the car, and she said this thing like, "I'm gonna fire everyone," and Freddie didn't defend. You know what I mean? Fred Burns, which. In retrospect, I wouldn't have done it either because
say, "Hey, don't do that."
Yeah, because I didn't have a relationship with Mitzi at the time,
so it's not your place.
Yeah, I didn't know how crazy. So, but in my head, I'm like, he should have defended Fred and these people that worked at the La Jolla Comedy Store. So when
should have defended Fred?
Freddie Soto should have defended.
So she told Freddie Soto.
Yeah, she told Freddie Soto about this.
Okay,
not Fred Burns.
And you're saying he should have been like Mitzi.
Anyway, I that night I confronted Freddie Soto at the condo at like 5 a.m, and we almost went into fist fighting.
Over what? What did you say? Was that?
I go, why do you defend Fred Burns? Because you know what I mean. He gave you stage time. It was some fucking bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is also just FYI 1997.
Okay.
That's how long ago this was. 1997. And then we almost went into fist fight pushing.
What was his side of it?
He's like, you don't fucking know Mitzi. Are you crazy? Which is, in retrospect, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
What do you do?
People like, if I was on that 9/11 plane, things would have been different.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then when I moved up to L.A., which is like 6 months after that, he just would not talk to me. And he didn't like me. None of his friends liked me. Eleanor didn't like me.
I thought Eleanor didn't like you for a different reason.
Well, she does. She doesn't like me for a certain reason. And which was this, is that when Princess Corey and Eleanor became the talent coordinators at the Comedy Store in Hollywood.
Eleanor was never the town coordinator. Corey was.
Yeah, but they were in cahoots.
Cahoots, for sure.
Okay, they were up in the office, they were in cahoots. That was the year that I didn't get really any spots. Right? So now I know that Freddie Soto, who I know that hates me, his fiance is running the fucking club, right? And now my survival is at stake. And when my survival is at stake,
and anyone who thinks you can just get spots elsewhere, it's just not. This is not true.
It's not true.
This is the place.
This is the place.
The only workout spot.
It's the only place. I am so lucky to have this place.
Yeah,
it taught me about fear and about, you know what I mean,
dealing with loss,
dealing with
bad things, and
the worst comedy conditions. You know what I mean. So they had this Thai manager named Kirk.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
Jordy would say that Kirk used to hide in the bushes across the street at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Just stare at the door guys to see if they were, and when they weren't working, if they were slacking off, he would just, aha, I caught you.
Yeah. He was the worst.
Dude, do your fucking job.
You're a minute late, right? You have to fucking sign a form. I mean, it was like fucking
really?
crazy. Yeah.
He was Thai?
Yeah, he was really Thai.
Okay.
And he was really angry. And he was just like, he was like the Khmer Rouge. That's what it reminded me. He was Pol Pot.
Wow.
He had that kind of energy, but because he's Asian and I'm Asian, he would sneak me up on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the whole club hated him. So there was a petition that came around where if I signed it, right?
To get Kurt fired.
To get Kirk fired, this Thai guy.
Yeah.
But he was my only lifeline.
Yeah, you didn't want him out.
So I ratted them out.
That's what it was.
I ratted Eleanor.
Kirk?
No, to Paulie.
Paulie.
And Paulie, because
Paulie
Kirk
liked
raised, Kirk, the Thai manager, raised Paulie.
How long had he been there, Kirk, at the time?
A year, but he was also manager there 15 years earlier even.
Okay.
Right? So
you told Paul, like, hey, there's a coup coming.
yeah. And let me tell you something right now.
Wow.
I know. And me saying it right now makes me want to shit my pants. How fucking scandalous.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm going to say this right now. And this is, I believe this is the truth. Okay, but I could be wrong. In every other aspect of my life, I'm a normal person.
Yeah. I
really am. If I like, you know, bump into somebody on the street, walking on the street, I say I apologize. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm a normal person. But when it comes to stand up, and my career, I'm a different kind of person. I'm a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you interfere with stage time or anything like that, like if I hear you say, don't hire Bobby, you know what I mean, back in the day, you know what I mean, to a promoter or something, that person is now enemy number one. Right? So
yeah, that's kind of a thing where it's like you can do whatever you want, you can hate somebody, you can try to fuck their girlfriend, but you can't get in the way of their business or their development.
Yeah, and I feel so bad what I did. And just saying it now made me it just makes me want to fucking crawl into a fucking hole. That I did that, but I did it.
And then how did Paulie react?
Kirk stayed on as a manager for a while.
Would Paulie get to Mitzi first and be like, hey, they're going to start?
Yeah, I mean, the petition didn't work, and you know what I mean? And I think that Kirk stayed on there for a little while, which in retrospect, he was a bad manager. He was a shithead. You know what I mean? It's the Comedy Store. You shouldn't have like a dictator there, but
you got spots even when Corey was there. When I was there, when Corey was the town coordinator, when I started there, you were getting spots.
I know. I heard a doorman say this, and I don't even know if this is true or not, but it got to my head that he told me that they wouldn't even, like, would call in on a Monday. Because when you do, anyone that's listening, when you do want to play at the Comedy Store, you have to call in on a Monday.
So here's the dates
for the
available.
For the week, right?
And most people go, great, you get no spots.
Right. And what the phone person is supposed to do is give it to the talent coordinator, and back then it would go to Mitzi.
Yeah, talent coordinator was I here. Mitzi here's who called in.
But apparently somebody said, and I'm sure they were wrong, you know what I mean? I had no proof of this.
Corey wouldn't.
That I would call and it would never get to Mitzi. Somebody had told me that. And so in my crazy paranoid head, right, I'm like, I gotta fucking survive. I clung on to fucking the most evil person which is Ty Kirk. You know what I mean?
Everyone hated to
Pol
the point
Pot.
where like we got to get rid of.
Yeah. And I sided with Pol Pot. And let me say this: in the late '60s, or early '70s, when the Khmer Rouge was happening,
You would have sided with
I
Pol
could have
Pot.
been. I could have been a Khmer Rouge, slaughtering babies, taking photos of their faces. You know what I mean? Dumping them in the river, like, and not wanting to do it, but just out of my own survival. You know what I
What's
mean?
he gonna do? Not slaughter babies? He's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah. But it's like it's crazy what you would do for your career, and I feel so shameful about it, but it happened, and I admit to it.
Yeah, you move on.
You
By the
move
way,
on.
you're not completely normal. You went not to let me in from downstairs with fucking underwear,
That's okay.
flip flops and underwear.
Everyone in the building knows me here.
Oh, really?
All right. I've been here for a long time.
Didn't you also have a contest to see what candy bars you could put up your asshole?
What the fuck? I used to do things like, how am I feel so shit? Duncan Trussell, when he was a talent coordinator, I used to go upstairs and used to go upstairs, and this is when I got Mad TV now, right? So now people had to put me up, right?
Yeah, because you're on TV.
I'm on TV,
There's
right?
So few guys were on anything there.
Not only that, I also was started from open mic.
You were a comedy. store
I was
guy.
a comedy store guy, and I will be for the rest of my life. But I used to go up to his office during the day, and I would stick like candy bars and like things on his desk into my butthole, and then put it back on the desk. And he would sit there and look at me. I'd pee. I would like pee on his desk. Like I used to do the most scandalous things imaginable. And he used to sit there and smile. And I think he hated me at that time. I mean, he gave me spots always. I love Duncan.
He never got involved. He just said, Mitzi, here's who called in. He goes, I'm not going to let them hate me.
Yeah,
They called in, you tell me who to put on.
he did it all.
He stayed out of the way.
He stayed out of the way. But I used to do things like that. And I used to do things like when I peed on your car. And you
No,
shit on mine.
Jim's car.
Whose?
Painter.
Oh, whoever.
Yeah.
I peed on somebody's car.
Yeah.
But then why did you shit on my car?
I didn't. I just gave Jim a bag of shit, and he put it on.
Oh, that was your shit, but James Painter put the shit on my
He
car.
couldn't shit anymore because he was out of shit. He
Oh,
already
that's
taken a
right.
shit
Oh,
the
yeah,
hour
yeah,
before.
yeah. It was ingenious what you did, though, did you not? You put it underneath the handles, and you put it on the windshield wipers.
Wipers.
Yeah, and you put a little dab on the window so that I go, oh my God, there's shit there. So I would turn on the windshield, and then it just shit caked it on the, you know what I mean? And I remember going to the 7-Eleven, and I went to a homeless guy. I went a bunch of Windex and like, you know what I mean? And bottles of water and stuff. And I went to a homeless guy. I go, if I give you $40, can you wipe my car with shit? He goes, no. So then I go, 100. He goes, all right. So I gave him a bunch of my like water and Windex and paper towels, and he cleaned it
Wow.
for $100.
Wow. That's hilarious.
What are you doing right now?
I'm writing down a note to put up a link of this, my closer of my first special where I talked about this
About
on the website.
you shitting on my car?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time. You were so mad.
Oh my God, I
Voice
was.
message was so funny.
You don't have it still, do you?
Nah.
And I wish I could. I
So
wish
full
I
of anger.
saved voice messages.
many
dude.
voice
Oh my
messages.
God! I had this one voice message from Paul Mooney. He goes, I don't. He goes, I don't ever want to. Don't ever say hi to me again.
Really?
Yeah, I go, why? I mean, I didn't say why, but he goes, because you've been hanging out with a lot of white people. I've been watching you, and it was just like one of those fucking phone calls where you go, what the fuck?
You hang out with white people. He's so racist sometimes.
Like, what the fuck is this call? Number one, I'm not black. You know what I mean? I'm Asian, right? And also on top of it, it's like, I don't, like, my people don't have a history with white people like African Americans did.
You're a go-between. Your people.
Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, I understand your plight and your anger, but the thing is that I got nothing to do with it. And also, I have a lot of white friends. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of people that you have to fucking deal with.
So many people. He called me a Nazi once because remember me and Duncan came with an idea because everyone was running the light. So we asked Mitzi, we're like, we got to do something. The people show up for 11 o'clock spot and they were on at 12:15. So we said, okay, if you go over, you don't go on next week. And we gave people a minute leeway. So you have 15 minutes. The light comes on at 12. If you do 16, we're not going to say anything. 17 or above, we'll talk. We told all the cover booth guys there's some heckler and they had to deal with it. Please let us know. Write it down because we don't want to. That's like an extenuating circumstance. And it worked. People started doing their time. And Mooney's like, oh, this Nazi. You're a Nazi.
Oh, wow.
Paul, you know there's a history I have with that, like in my people.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is not really close to the extermination of
Yeah.
of an ethnic group.
Yeah. I know. I mean, but it's unbelievable
Yeah.
what the club looks like now.
So much different.
I mean, people don't understand.
We couldn't start with less than 6 people, and we had show start at 9.
On a
9:45.
Friday night,
we still don't have any people.
You would have 6 people sometimes, 10 people.
Yeah.
And the lineups were people that you've, number one, have never heard of.
The
Number
Dingle
2,
Boys.
you will never hear of them.
Here's how much would you want for Jeremy Dingle?
A 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
Be like, oh really?
Because I don't really remember what he really looks like. I just know his energy.
You play like the mouth flute.
Or Anand Chulani.
Nonchalani. Brody, where is Brody? You remember that?
Yeah.
He couldn't do his 15.
I know.
And he was like 7 minutes in and it wasn't going well. And he goes, okay, that's it for me. And Brody's still outside. He goes, Brody, where is Brody?
He did that to me on a Saturday. He was 8 minutes in. It was actually a pretty good audience. He goes, I'm done, Bobby. And I go, you're doing the 15.
Really?
Yeah, I made him stay up there for 15. Because I yelled at him afterwards. I go, dude, I'm going to just say right now, is that this is not open mic night.
It's not a mic night. You're at the comedy store on a weekend.
On a weekend, and it's like, if
He's
you
like
can't...
a major writer now. I want to look up his fucking IMDb.
Well, yeah, maybe erase it if we were going to lose jobs. And it's part.
Let's see if he does dramas or sitcoms.
All right.
What's her password?
I don't know. Can I just use this?
Yeah. Use that.
So what? Anand Chulani?
Yeah.
Wait, Francesca Hilton.
Died, man.
I know, but
I can't believe
She
you
was-
didn't hear that.
she was all right.
Look at her in her youth.
Yeah, she was all right.
That
You would have fucked her then?
That? Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
see this.
No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if it's on the road,
Right.
not in LA.
Okay, so what's his name? Anand Chulani.
Yeah, ANAND. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Guys like that. It was
Chulani.
just shitty. It was just
There
not
is.
good comics.
There's a Wikipedia on him.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't have a Wikipedia. He's got one.
Yeah, AnandChulani.com.
Yeah. It's IMDb. That's IMDb him.
Okay,
Honest
IMDb.
Research
Okay,
Written.
Anand Chulani Lincoln. Okay, Anand Chulani. IMDb?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got? Anything?
I don't know, it's still loading. Okay, Anand Chulani is known for his work on Slaughter Studios, American Chai, and These Old Broads. And this is all from 2002, 2001, 2001.
He's out of the business. Oh, no, wait. He wrote after that, right?
I don't know. Look, read it. What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. All filmography. Actor 6. Miscellaneous crew. This ain't Anand Chulani.
That's him.
Actor? When did he start acting? I thought he was just a writer. This ain't the same. Anand Chulani. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be him.
All right, good.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, nothing. He's doing nothing. We're fine.
It's fine. What the?
Relax. I'm not going to do anything on your fucking phone. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you worked the door in La Jolla first?
Yeah.
And then you moved up and worked the door in LA?
Yeah. I was working at a coffee shop next to the La Jolla Comedy Store called the Disc Cafe.
You took me there once up and then...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then I just went across the street one day and there was a help wanted sign at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, and I got a job there as a bar back.
Isn't it amazing how that's how a lot of people start comedy?
Yeah.
Just go, oh, I'll get a job here. And then
Yeah,
become
I'm
like
23.
top-level comedians.
Yeah, I'm 23 at the time.
Yeah.
And then Fred gave me a job there, and then I was there at an open mic because I used to wash dishes on open mics.
Uh-huh.
And I used to watch the local guys. I used to watch, I don't know, you don't know their names, but
Gotzik?
no, Gotzik and I started the same week,
Okay.
and they were awful. Not awful, but you would watch and you go, yeah, I
yes.
could totally do it. And then I started going up like last or second to last, and then I fucking moved up fast, dude. Like, and that's why a lot of people in La Jolla don't like me, because I moved up so fucking fast.
You didn't quote-unquote put your time in right.
Well, no, because Paulie saw me 6 months in
Yeah.
at an open mic.
That was Big Hair Bobby?
Yeah, Big Haired Bobby.
Yeah.
And then 9 months in, he had me open for him in Vegas.
Oh.
I got passed a year in
Whoa.
first year.
You're into comedy.
Yeah. And then I met Carlos Mencia around that time and his manager. So his manager signed me.
Worthy
Patterson. And then I used to open for Paulie and Carlos for 5 years off and on. And that's how I started. And then I moved to LA. I doored there for a long time.
When you were doing that, who were you working with? Shaq?
Bob Ochek, Gotzik a little bit. Freddie Soto was kind of, when I first got up there, was doing it a little bit. Johnny Sanchez.
Oh, you worked with Sanchez?
A little bit, yeah. Sergio Love.
Sergio worked the door?
Was a doorman. Pete Gray, a couple years in, you know what I mean, was there. Yeah, so that kind of group.
Okay.
Yeah. But mainly I remember doing it with Harris Pete.
Yeah.
And Chewy Bravo, not Chewy Bravo, but Chewy was the lot guy. No, Chewy Bravo was Chelsea's.
Oh, yeah.
But Chewy was a name. Big fucking
He worked the
Hispanic.
door.
Yeah, he was the worst. I mean, I love him, but
Soul Blow in the front, but the best location in the world
yeah,
for just like come to the Sunset Strip.
yeah. There was so.
I didn't know. He used to yell at me sometimes. I'd be in the back door, and he's like, "You're in your door." I'm like, "Dude, I've been right here the whole time." He goes, "Don't you fucking yell at me, bro! Don't you come at me like that!"
Yeah.
I was like, "What? What is happening?" It was the last thing I saw. Last drug I could see on people was cocaine.
Yeah.
I could see if they're drunk, I could see if they're high, and then I was like, "What are these moods? I don't understand." And now I get it later. It's like, "Oh, okay."
He used to wobble. Remember? He had that little wobble that he would do. Yeah. He used to wear. Also, he always dresses like a 1950s a trigger man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He had an axe wound to his head.
Yeah, he did have an axe wound. Yeah. And then Harris Pete was there. And people don't know who he is. He's still a comic, but he started there with Jay Leno and Letterman. In fact, they were all very good friends in the 70s. And then Jay Leno and Letterman, obviously, they became who they were. But Harris Pete stayed a doorman. And that's why he was so bitter.
Because his friends all went on to not just some success, but massive success.
Yeah, and also Harris Pete did the Tonight Show.
Really?
Yeah, Carson a couple of times. People don't know that.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's not as if nothing happened. It's just that he stayed a doorman until 2000.
3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
5, 6 years ago? Maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah, 2004. I don't know. But he stayed a doorman.
They got secret shoppers after a while, and they go, everybody likes the comedy stuff. There's one guy who's just yelling at them as they come in. He was just like mean to people.
So mean. And he wouldn't say hi to you when you showed up.
Anybody.
Yeah, and then...
You know what I did? I said hi to Jackson Purdue.
Yeah.
Because the two of them were talking the front steps of the OR. You know? And I saw Jackson Purdue. I was like, "Oh, hey, I talked to you on the phone. I'm Ari. I take phone calls. I take the avails. I'm a phone guy." But it was my first. Like 6 months, I couldn't come downstairs. I was too scared.
Yeah.
And then I did, and I was like, "Well, it's nice to meet you." He goes, "Oh, nice to meet you too." And I saw Harris right next to him. I was like, "Hi, I'm Ari," and he just looks at my hand, looks at me, and he goes, "So."
Yeah.
And it was like,
that was the mentality back then.
Wow.
Yeah. yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even.
That was the mentality back then. Like, people wouldn't say hi to you. They were fucking
actively
mean.
not say hi.
I know,
not
mean.
just like, "Oh, we're with our friends right now." Just like actively, like, "I'm gonna fuck you."
Yeah, and angry, and no one came to that club anyway, and it was just an ugly energy there.
Yeah.
And that's when we started. That's what we like. Now you look at the store, and on a Tuesday it's sold out.
Sold out. The door guy's like, "Hey, Bobby Lee's here." You know, on their walkie-talkies.
That's crazy. They have a little walkie-talkie. They have cameras.
Instead of like, go tell the cover booth that Bobby's here, but also don't leave your shift in the back. Like, well, how am I gonna? I don't know, man. Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, and now it's like a completely different thing, but people don't realize that when we started, it was the complete opposite. It was just like, is this open? That's what people would walk in and go, this is open?
Like, go inside. Obviously, go to the cover booth, idiot. And we're like, I don't know what a cover booth is.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like the worst place, the worst acts.
But even in all that time, Mitzi still wouldn't promote her show.
Right.
She wouldn't go and give out free tickets. She wouldn't do advertisements. She goes, the show's the show.
And if you did get a spot, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go up.
Well, because Dice could come in and bump the whole lineup.
You could get a spot at 9:15, which is the show starts at 9, right?
Yeah.
And you show up, and then it's 1:30 in the morning, and you're like, oh, shit, I think I should go home. I haven't gone up yet because you, Eddie Griffin,
Griffin would do the whole lineup.
2 hours, Dice 2 hours, Mencia 3 hours, right? By the time,
right, those times. No one respected other comics.
So by the time, right, you went up, you would be 1:30 in the morning,
There'd be no one there.
and you're supposed to be up second. You know what I mean? I mean, and that was every night. And then when you didn't get a spot, you would show up early and to do a fallout,
Yeah.
right? So what would happen is if comics didn't show up, you could be on this fallout list. But you look at the fallout list, it's like 19
Nine
pages.
deep. Like how many?
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's no way I'm getting up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of those most impossible places.
It was impossible. When she started, was she coming around a lot? Was Mitzi coming around a lot when you were working the door? Mm-hmm. What did you work? Just the door?
I did phones, door, cover. I did all of them. I used to do during the day, like clean up up there. There was all these leaves up on the roof one night, one day, and it was raining, and I had this rake. You know what I mean? I remember, and it was like there was like
Raking the roof?
raking the roof.
It
Yeah,
would
by
leak
myself
all the time.
What?
It would leak all the time. Like
No, with
the
leaves.
ceiling would fall in.
Yeah, but the leaves, because they hadn't cleaned that thing for 30 years. It was like stacked. And I remember just 9 hours, just put these bags, you know what I mean? Just so that I could go up and do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
3 minutes.
yeah.
Who was hosting back then? The open mic.
I did it a lot.
You did it while you were a door guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did it.
Me too.
And Freddie would do it, Johnny. I mean, people would do it, but it was also, I mean, you think that the regular nights are fucking awful? I mean, the open mics there, I mean, the kinds of people they would put up there.
Homeless people. People looking to stay warm, right? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, not just homeless, almost like they'll skin you alive and make a jacket out of your skin. That type of
You
people.
remember Bezo?
Yeah.
He used to take nipple rings, attach sausages to them, and then take a cleaver and just chop them onto his chest.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't he wouldn't nail it. He bled like a lot.
Yeah. Or you'd have a guy up there who's so senile that this is his set for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? For 3 minutes. And then you're like, you know, waiting for the light to go on because you're hosting.
All
And one more
right.
time for what's your name again? And you're like, all right, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I mean, it was like that crazy.
Yeah.
And then they would have Fat Tuesday.
That was
Remember
Fat
that?
Tuesday was gangster.
Right. So the night
You
was.
worked those nights?
Yeah. So the club was dead.
What was Fat Tuesday like when you were working?
It was I mean,
okay, the club was dead.
Okay, so the club is dead. We have shitty lineups, but the Fat Tuesday was a black show in the main room, and it wasn't run by the Comedy Store, right? It was separate. It was a separate
Guy Torrey ran it
Guy Torrey,
eventually,
yeah.
uh-huh.
And so you would sneak in to the main room to see real comedy.
Yeah, JB Smoove, I remember saying that. and
I
was like,
Bernie
wow,
Mac,
killed.
I saw there.
Really?
I saw Cedric there.
You know what
I
happened
saw-
to Bernie Mac?
What happened?
He also passed.
No, I'm gonna Google this. Kidding. No, but I know he did. But yeah, you should see the best.
Cedric the
comic.
Entertainer was there.
Cedric. I remember sitting there with Paulie, Eddie Murphy, right, Charlie Murphy, watching Cedric go up.
Wow.
And I don't know. I was sitting there with Paulie, right, and then all of a sudden Eddie Murphy sits with us,
And
and
you're like, "Oh,
I am stuck. You know what I mean? Between Paulie and then I'm like, I have to. You know what I mean? But it was so. You know, I mean, you get scared in those situations because you want to say the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw the best comics.
Right
and
way to
you-
handle is say nothing. Just sit there quietly until they call on you. Because you're not part
That's
of
what
the
you
thing.
learn. That's what you learn. Yeah,
I see
yeah.
these guys now, they interrupt. Like, who was that? I'm like, dude, we're having a fucking conversation. Who the fuck are... Just shut up and listen, new guy.
No. What about the other night when we were talking?
Yeah.
When we were talking the other night on outside.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and that guy, that fat
Fucking
guy
cigar.
with the cigar. And
He keeps asking questions to clarify. I'm like, hey, dude, you're not really... We're allowing you to stand here, new comic. We're allowing you to stand here and listen. Just fucking... You don't know any of us. You don't know the people we're talking about. So either walk away or fucking be quiet.
Yeah, he kept, you know, and I don't want to be rude. And
Guiding
go,
the conversation away. And it's like, you're making us all want to walk.
yeah, that's what I tried to do. But I wanted to talk to you and Nick. You know what I mean?
know.
But this guy is just like, you know,
Why are you on top of us?
yeah. One time I was like,
we were all literally turning away from him. Like,
Yeah.
without thinking about it. We were all just turning...
I know. Remember, I kept like sliding more up onto the like
you
the
came
little-
back onto the street.
Yeah,
It's like, and he's
Yeah,
still on
yeah.
there. I was like, I
I
don't know how
know.
you're not reading body language, bro.
And I'm trying to be tolerant and
nice.
nice. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be that guy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
it's like, I mean, it
You
gets
can't be
to a
like,
point-
beat it, loser. You can't say that.
Yeah,
That's mean. But at
not
the
only
same
that,
time,
you
it's
don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a comic. He could have been like,
I thought
you
he
know
was
what I mean,
a
a movie
comic, but I
executive.
couldn't-
You know what I
but I
mean?
couldn't
So that's what
I thought he was a comic, but you can't really tell.
you can't tell. Yeah.
Oh, that guy was annoying.
He was, I know, but I know, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up. But he, well,
So what was yours like when you worked? What was your responsibilities? Like, what did you have to do every day? Did you ever do the sign?
oh yeah, I did sign. I did. You'd have to get there, and because also back then,
Yeah.
you didn't get an hourly wage. You know what you got?
What?
$25 a shift, and a shift meant it could mean 4 p.m. till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's $25. And then you'd have to, on Friday, I remember the checks came out. So on Thursday nights, what I would do is I would sleep in the belly room just because I had no money.
Yeah.
And I would just wait for that fucking check the next
Cash
day
it.
to cash it.
That $75
That's how
check.
desperate I was for money. You know what I mean? I remember one time I
Gee, that's
parked my
cool.
truck
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, I remember
parking
that
lot.
truck you had?
Remember that shitty truck I had?
Oh, yeah.
And there was no window.
I don't remember that.
So I remember parking my truck on a Thursday night, sleeping there, and then I got a knock on the window one day.
Yeah.
It was like 10 in the morning. You know what it was? Jimmy Schubert.
What?
He goes, "Hey, kid." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You hungry?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Let me buy you breakfast." He brought me down the street, and he bought me breakfast.
Wow.
Mel's. He brought me to Mel's and brought me
What
breakfast.
was he doing there?
He was, I don't know.
Rolling by.
Yeah. And ever since that day, I thank him. I vividly remember moments like that.
Dude, that's part of my bit about you. It's like when you took us to Jerry's in between pissing on Jim's car and pissing on it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, you know, he bought us lunch and Bobby would always buy us sandwiches. And I was like, guys, if you have poor friends, just buy them a sandwich.
Is that why you beat the shit out of me?
No, separate issue. That's a separate issue.
So I buy you a sandwich, and you wanted my face to bleed.
Well, those are, I wouldn't link the two of those things, but
Yeah.
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 So when you were doing the signs and stuff, there were people with those fucking drunks come by. Did you have that?
Yeah, but you had to put the fucking ladder up there,
Uh-huh.
right? And yeah, the drunks would come by, but also it's like you put up names that no one would ever hear of.
That's right. You had to put a Dingle's name up there.
You'd put Jeremy Dingle's name up there, or I mean, God bless her, Marilyn Martinez. She did okay though, right, in life.
She did good.
Cheryl Vendetti. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was fun. So they were starting to put paid records, had too many paid records at some point. They were starting to put them in the belly room. And you could park at Pink Dot, and we'd give you $5 back towards your parking. Because it was like, yeah, there's not enough place for all these people to park, but let's pay for them. And so Cap was doing the call-outs. And he was like, hey, you have a spot, but it's in the belly room. And Cheryl Vendetti was like, well, I'm not coming in for the belly room. What the fuck, that's like an insult.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, that's cool. There's a lot of comics who would appreciate the stage time. So I'll just tell them one of them. She got so mad.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, he was right, though.
Yeah.
He was right though. You're telling a fucking phone guy who's killed for 2 minutes that is like that's beneath you.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
The problem with this though is I want to go back to John.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Is that what happens is the struggle, right, that you go through.
Yeah.
Right. You build you have a hate box in your heart. It's like a chest, and all the bad things that happen, you put that shit in the chest, right? That comic fucked me over. You know what I mean? That guy lied. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Stage and no stage, and you build it, and then when you make it and you have a name, I left it closed,
Right.
right? But some people they unlock it,
Let's see what's in there.
yeah, and then it comes out. All their resentment and rage and anger, and now that they have the power,
And it's like, dude, you
they
have a
unleash
house.
it.
You have a house.
I know that.
You have a beautiful backyard.
But it's something they don't even realize it's happening, right? So when I see a guy like Gerard Carmichael,
Uh-huh.
you know, he has done very well for himself.
Sure.
Nice guy,
Super nice.
super nice. Nothing ever. He
Nobody
hasn't
hates Gerard.
changed. You know what I mean? Look at all those undateable guys, Brent, Rick. All those guys are nice guys,
Yeah,
and
sure, nice.
yeah, and but every once in a while you'll see a guy who will just completely turn the opposite direction and become the biggest douchebag. And I think it's because of the fact that, you know, it's so difficult making it, and it's that rage has to go somewhere.
I heard who's that short black comic who's massive now?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I heard he was like I don't know people's
He knows
names.
his name.
I don't know people's names.
He didn't name is Kevin Hart. He's on every fucking billboard.
No, man, it's
Yeah.
weed. It's a real problem.
Uh-huh.
It's a real problem. My memory's gone. I heard when he got to like improv and stuff, because first they're like, oh, we won't let you in or whatever. And then when they were like, okay, fine, now you're a name. Now we want to pay you a bunch of money. And they were like, if they couldn't meet the guarantees, like, fuck you, pay me. Because he'd be like, all these times when you guys fucking robbed me and said I was 2 tickets short of a fucking sellout bonus, all this shit, fuck all of you. And they're like, that wasn't me. That was the old manager at a different club.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. Fuck all of these places.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're losing money on me.
Yeah. I think that's what happens. Or when, like, Eddie Griffin's deal with clubs where he needs a brand new pair of shoes, white sneakers every show, isn't because he's selfish. It's just because that rage is coming out. You know what I mean? And I'm going to make the white man.
You wouldn't give me a fucking French fries while I was there?
Yeah. And now that he can, he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think that's the wisest thing.
He gave me some advice once. I booked my first commercial, thanks to you, Bobby. And I go, I was at Dublin's, and it was this girl who normally I say hi to. She was like, look at me and look away. A comic type person. And she was in the scene. I forget if she was a comic or just like a booker or whatever. But she was in the scene. And then I booked this commercial and it was on a lot. And she goes, oh, I saw your commercial. It was so nice. And she was being nice to me. And this is a person who wouldn't even give me the time of day. I wasn't trying to ask her out or anything.
Yeah.
It was just, hello. And just not even like, she's being like a human.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Griffin was like, it was up in Duncan's office. And he goes, oh, so you want to know how to like treat those people? Like how to like get back at them. And I was like, sort of. He goes, you fuck them. You fuck them. And that's how you get your revenge. You have sex with their pussies.
That's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fuck them. Hate fuck.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then it's like, remember how you wouldn't talk to me? Now I'm in you.
Yeah. I want to ask you about something because, you have a way, because you and I are opposite in the sense that you have
I'm
this.
in the bathroom to say this because I got to piss.
All right.
But you can keep talking. Or we can put it on pause, I guess.
I guess you can pee while you do it. That's fucking weird though. But
But go ahead.
But you don't have guilt.
What do you mean?
I want to know how to deal with life in that way where you can just go fuck that person. Well, that whole thing with the Damien thing. With the girl with the no arm, and she was all upset afterwards. You don't feel guilty about that.
I feel guilty about not warning her that was coming. That's all. No, not doing it. Doing it is like, that's my art. I made decisions artistically.
Yeah. Did you apologize to her at all in any kind of way or no?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see her. She did ask me about it before all that video came out. And what's this? And I explained it to her. And I was like, yeah, it's this. It's not going to look good for you. But to be honest, you're like a few people put together. But it's not kind the way you came out. And
Right. I got to pee now too.
and then she made that video. But it was like...
But after the video, you haven't...
Yeah, where I got wrong, I thought about it on mushrooms, and where I did really wrong was not like saying, hey, this got picked up by Comedy Central, so you're probably going to see this.
Yeah.
You should be aware it's coming. That's where I fucked up. And yeah, I feel guilty about that.
You should put her on the show now.
No, I'm not going to put it on the show. I won't let it affect my art. You can't let it affect what you do. Somebody said, like, you should put it on the... This is not happening. And I was like, I'm not going to hurt my product for the sake of... someone's feelings. That's a terrible.
So you have changed growing up then?
What do you mean?
You used to be a lot more, I don't know, cold, but not anymore. I feel like there's warmth, a lot of warmth.
I come off as colder than I am.
No, I'm not saying. When we first met, we were good. We were saying, but then there was a time, maybe because when you beat me up or whatever, and all that stuff. But then, like now, I feel like there's like a real warmth about you.
Yeah, man, mushrooms and depression.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I've been to the bottom. It's kind of, I guess, maybe similar to what you went through with
drugs and stuff,
abuse, but it's like you're at this bottom spot where it's like it's just better than it was.
Yeah,
and so it's like, and also what the mushrooms really help you do is see yourself from the outside looking in, and so you're not just observing some guy, you're observing somebody that you know so well. It's not like Bobby went down with his underwear. But no, my neighbors all know me. But from an outsider, I don't know you. But if on mushrooms, you're looking at yourself from an outsider, but you know everything about who you're observing.
Yeah.
And you can look at yourself without ego, and you get to see, like, oh, that's a fuck up. That's a fuck up. Although, with you and apologizing to you, Natasha, that wasn't on mushrooms. That was before mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think it was just a self-awareness moment where I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
That was unbelievable. When you called me. I remember that day.
Yeah.
It was shocking. It was like it's like Darth Vader calling Luke.
Sorry about the hand, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry for burning Uncle Owen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, I was wrong. I was wrong to handle it that way. Sorry again.
No, don't. Well, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah, it's the best when people like see that story we did all together.
Yeah.
Like, you were a fucking dick. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. That's why I went up with all those guys. We worked it out.
Yeah,
you don't have to defend
yeah.
them now.
Yeah.
Like, we're all good.
Yeah, I did get a lot of questions like maybe a year or a year and a half ago, but it's died down. But yeah. No, we're good, you know?
So many fun, dramatic moments. That's why when they did Minding the Store, it was like, oh, all you really had to do was put hidden cameras there and mics for like a year, and you can have enough footage to make 20 episodes.
Oh my God.
Like capturing me punching you in the face, capturing throwing you back water and Natasha. That's just me. Everybody has these stories.
Oh,
Joey
man,
Diaz beat
me
up
and
people.
Andrew Dice Clay
Yeah.
at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
we're in the women's bathroom in the main room, right? Mm-hmm. And because we knew that Eddie Griffin was bringing a girl in there to fuck her. And him and I stayed in the stalls while Eddie Griffin fucked this like white chick.
Wow.
And we were giggling. You know what I mean? I mean,
We used to spy on Eddie Griffin, how we could see him go fuck.
Yeah,
Lee
yeah.
Hart, David Taylor. We like look like Scooby Doo coming through. You know, one head on top of the other. Like, oh, he's not in here. He's in the other room. Like, we could like listen.
Here's-
With Andrew Dice Clay.
with Clay, yeah. I'll tell you the spookiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right. So I was there on a Thursday, and it was like pretty late. It was like 1 a.m. And I was working the door there, and they were like, hey, just to let you know, the belly room is being occupied, but you can't go in there.
Uh-huh.
I go, what is it, they doing renovations or something? They just don't go in there.
You're like, well, I'm for sure going in.
So I sneak up into the green room, right? And I'm by myself, and I slowly, you know what I mean, that hallway, that green hallway, right? And I open it up, right? And all the chairs and tables are like brushed off to the side, and there's about 8 or 9 people in a circle. There's candles all over the place, and they're all in robes.
What?
I swear to fucking God, dude. They're in robes, and they're chanting, okay? Then I sneak a little closer, but I don't want to make any noise because I think that this is what in my head that I thought Mitzi was there. You know, but it wasn't Mitzi. It was Lily Tomlin. You know what? They were doing, and Bob Zamuda. They were doing a seance to get in touch with Andy Kaufman.
What?
Yeah. It was fucking cray, dude.
Wow.
And I literally, it stunned me. It stunned me in a way that, like, I didn't sleep for a couple weeks, just thinking about, like, should I even be? Because in my head, because I'm young, I'm from the suburbs of San Diego.
Yeah.
That the end game of making it is being in a robe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like being like, you know what I mean? You're like,
Lily Tomlin? I mean,
yeah,
she's a
with Lily
legend.
Tomlin, yeah, and it's like you're contacting demons or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't think this is how people make it, and you know what I mean in my head.
And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything since. But like, yeah, that happened.
Didn't you have one of those where you had like some you got invited to some Hollywood party?
No, next door, the Hyatt.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what happened. So I'm at the fucking Comedy Store. I wasn't working there. This is probably when I was dating Sarah Hyland.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah.
So this is about maybe 7-8 years ago, and it's late at night. I wanted to go to Carney's to get a hamburger or whatever. So I walked to Carney's. It's like 1:30 in the morning, and when I was walking back in front of the Hyatt, there's about 100 Asians, all dressed in white,
Yeah.
and mostly women. And at that time, you know, I was on Mad TV, so people knew who I was and whatever, especially Asians.
At Carney's, was 100 women.
No, in front of the Hyatt.
Oh, okay.
So I'm walking back. I had that like, little that
Banana
like the
stick?
banana stick. You know what I
Frozen
mean?
banana?
Yeah, with the chocolate on it. And I'm eating
So
that.
phallic,
Right.
You know, you just gotta lick
And
it.
I look over, and about 8 girls run up to me. Oh my God, it's Bobby Lee or whatever. And then, hey, I just want you to know we're like a sex party. I go, what? Yeah, we're like a sex. It's like a club. You dress in white? Yeah, we all dress in white. We do it like, you know, a couple times a year, different cities and this and that. I go, oh, and I'm like, I got to get out of here because I have a girlfriend.
All right.
In my head, right? I said, come up. I go, come up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go up. I'm not gonna touch nobody. All right.
You gotta see what it is.
Yeah, so I go up, I don't know, 7th floor or whatever, and they had rented out the whole floor. And they had pried open all the doors You know how hotel rooms are attached?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Those are like, you know what I mean, open. So it's almost as if walking through like a museum or whatever, right? And you walk in, there's like 8 guys, 2 girls, you know what I mean? And these 2 girls grab me, I swear to fucking God, and they bring me to a room. They go, sit there and sit down. So I'm sitting there, I swear to fucking God. And I'm like sitting there, like I'm sweating. I'm scared, right? Because I'm afraid that I'm going to do something right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm praying to God. I don't even believe in. I believe to God. God, please help me through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, you know what I mean? And then these girls start eating each other's pussy, like 69 or whatever. And I'm sitting there on the fucking this chair, going, and then they get off of the fucking bed, bro. I'm not even fucking kidding me. And they pull up my shirt. They start kissing my stomach. I yanked it down. I stood up. I still had like the stick from the still in my hand, you know what I mean? And I fucking book it to the fucking elevator. And I went down and went home.
Whoa.
I mean, because the thing is that the reason why I don't cheat, right, is because I don't want to relapse, and it's relapse behavior. And especially then, because I was going to a lot of meetings, I just can't do it. But it's like I showed a lot of restraint there.
Wow.
And resilience.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, because these 2 girls.
But you hate Asian chicks.
No, but these 2 were very good. Very, very good.
I remember when you were dating Patty Lee.
Oh, my God.
And it seemed like an interracial couple. Because you only date white girls. And it was like, this is so weird.
That's so funny.
Dating an Asian.
Yeah. I mean, she was special, though.
It was really cool.
Yeah. You know what's so funny about it? Because now, that's so funny. Because Patty,
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but she dated David Cho, the artist,
No way.
before me for 2 years. And then dated Jill On from Lincoln Park for like a year. And she dated me. So this girl, like, into the Koreans, did the gambit, dude.
We did a commercial together, me and her.
She's great. She's nice, right?
Here's the commercial. It was from Shaquille O'Neal's point of view. It's like my 3rd or 4th or 5th commercial. And he's coming into a Burger King and he just kind of looks around. So this guy had to put a camera on top of his head, pretending like he's Shaq's point of view.
Yeah.
Look around. And every time they shot, I would run around and go to see, like, let's play it back. And I would see where the end of the fucking camera angle is.
Yeah.
And it would be like halfway through my booth with Patty. So we were just all the way in the edge trying to eat French fries, like leaning out of our booth.
Oh, so you could get in the shot.
Yeah, and we did. And it made me $15,000.
Yeah,
Instead of
the
sitting in
thing
my
people
seat
don't
like an
know
actor.
is that just because you do a commercial doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make money
Oh,
after
yeah,
that.
they don't show you, you're done.
You have to be on screen.
At least your ear.
At least your face, yeah, of some sort, right? So you have to be in it. That's amazing.
Yeah, if it's the back of your head, you're out.
And back then, you would get like $90 or something every time it aired.
Yeah, about 100.
Yeah, $100 every time it aired. And sometimes you would be like sitting watching TV, and you'd watch your commercial air 15 times, and you're just like in your eyes, you're like fucking money symbols.
Yeah.
I mean, you
get,
remember
like,
those
when they
days?
play for like football. You're like, oh, this is
Oh,
going to be
my
on multiple
God.
channels, multiple times a day.
I know.
You're at a
Those-
bar, you're talking, you're like, see it come on, like, I just made $100.
I know. And
we do
those
anything.
check who's just fucking run it come. Oh,
Harris actually summed it up the best. What is it called? Residuals. What residuals are? He goes, imagine if you have a job, like a real job. You're working at some place, and they go, hey, can you move that box up to the 3rd floor? Yeah, sure, okay. You pick the box up, and you sweat, you put it up. They're like, great, here's $20. And then tomorrow, somebody goes, hey, did that box get moved up to the 3rd floor? And they go, yeah. He goes, all right, we'll pay him again. And then
that's exactly
yeah.
what it is.
And then later they like fucking
Yeah.
clean the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, you got to pay him again.
I call it shadow money.
Shadow money.
Yeah, because it's like money that doesn't really exist, but does.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like you'll like my accountant will go. We just got a check for 20 grand from Mad TV, like Canada.
And you're like, I wasn't
They're like,
expecting
that got canceled like 11 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Stop working
Or
on it
you
so long.
still get Harold and Kumar checks.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but like a couple grand a year.
That's crazy.
Two grand. I'll go buy
That's
some
a vacation.
shoes.
That's a vacation.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Whatever. You know what I
$2
mean?
grand. What kind of fucking you're wearing flip flops.
Yeah, whatever, dude. How much time do we do now?
Okay, we have a little bit left, but listen.
How much do you do? How long
I
do you
just
do?
go until it's done with the topic. And we're within like 45 minutes to 3 hours.
Really?
So there's no range.
Oh, there's no range.
time
All
limits.
right.
No commercials.
I'm
coming
here.
up.
I'm here, bro.
Well, how was it treating audience members like when you were like door guys? Like how did you view audience members, your crew? So like what year? First of all, what years were you doing it? I want to do this 4 times. So I already did it with Danish and O'Neill. I'm calling that Door Guys 3. I'm going to call this Door Guys 2.
I want one with guys now, and I want one with like Argus and like Don Barris types.
1996 to 2000, I'd say 2001. Because I started Mad TV at 2001.
And you were still working the door when you got Mad TV?
No, so right when I got the show, I remember going, I don't know, I don't want shifts anymore.
After you'd booked the show?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's led right up to that.
Yeah, because you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still, even I was getting commercials. And also, I wasn't working every week.
You did good in commercials.
Yeah, but I wasn't working every week, but I still would do shifts, you know what I mean, just to do them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you think, you know, you're going to miss out for some reason, that weird thing, like...
Did it feel like I'm working the door, I have to work shifts? For some, like, I don't know, reason, some compulsion of, like, that's what you're supposed to do, I guess?
For me, and I tell young comics this all the time, it's the best school. Because not only you learn the business from at the comedy club business as a bar, right? Then you learn, you know, you see a variety of acts, and I mean because you have the uniform on, these people talk to you,
right?
Right,
You're not just some guy bothering.
You're not just a guy. No, so it's like I remember when George Carlin used to come, he used to go, Mr. Lee, and then walk in. That's all the conversation I ever had with him. He knew my name because he asked for one time, and he always remembered it. And so when you have that, you know what I mean? It's just, and then like that's how I know Joe Rogan. That's how I know everybody I know in comedy. Is because I was wearing a Comedy Store T-shirt.
You weren't just a guy hanging out.
I wasn't just a guy like a freeloader hanging around.
Right.
Right. So that's why it's good. And number two, the people that you meet at open mics and also who you're working with are the future. You don't see it then because no one has money and everyone has like acne and they have no good clothes, no cars. But trust me,
there's going to be producers.
There's going to be huge people coming out of this group.
You're going to open for.
Right. Because I mean, you know, when I was doing open mic and I was a doorman there, like, you know, Chelsea, a handler, you never thought in your wildest dreams, you know what I mean?
She'd be that big.
But I was friends with her. I always thought that she was funny.
You wouldn't even know if she'd be in the business in 10
Anybody.
years. Yeah.
Anybody was like that. You know, it's you.
Yeah.
Or me or Swartzen or anybody. You know what I mean? It's like you never think that. And then a lot of these guys, they get jobs doing other shit. Look at Jordy.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordy was a comic.
Comedy Central.
Right, and now he's an executive at Comedy Central. Central.
He talks about Kirk a lot.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordy was in my class, too. I remember Jordy, I met him at an open mic in Hollywood Boulevard, and I just saw him the other day, and I was mentioning that he used to wear this green tie that was, like, wide like a clown's.
Yeah?
Yeah, so he'd walk up on stage with a white shirt with this green tie, and he was kind of fat back then. And he used to, you know, then just say, fuck you to everybody. Like, he's just really aggressive, you know what I mean? But that was his style.
That was his hook.
Yeah, it was his hook.
He's also going through shit, I guess.
He has kids now. It's fucking unbelievable what happens.
Friendly and nice. You tell the people, like, yeah, he used to be a really angry comic. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
He's just a lovable stoner.
I know.
Like, he's a different dude, bro.
Different time. I remember one time I was at an open mic. I saw this girl, and she was, like, trying to do stand-up or whatever. Her name was Nancy.
Yeah.
And she was wearing, like, her feet were dirty for some reason. She was, like, wearing sandals. She looked homeless, but she was really cute.
Yeah.
We talked for a little bit and whatever, and I always remembered it because she was cute. And then 6 years after that, I was like looking at a Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
And she sold 2 scripts for like $1.5 million. Or
Nancy
something.
Pimentel?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wrote for South Park, too.
Yeah.
Wow. Open micers.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy open micer.
Yeah, she was an open micer. And I just remember seeing that going, wow, she's made it. That was still poor, I think. You know what I mean? But like so you know, I tell young guys all the time, it's like, you know what I mean, even if you're doing open mic with a homeless guy, you got to be nice to everybody.
Also,
you don't fucking
really
know.
No reason to be mean.
I mean, there are people, obviously.
You can walk away from them, but there's no reason to be mean.
Right. You know.
Yeah, obviously. So, how would you treat audience members? How would you treat customers? What was your relation to them during your era?
As a doorman? Mm-hmm. I never did anything shady where like I know that other people did, like reserve tables and say, yo, I'll give me $100, I'll give you this table.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the job or money in that way. So it's like I always just kind of like I wasn't like there was really no system back then.
What do you mean?
Since there's a system, it's like the audience there weren't tourists. They were like, I can't explain it. They weren't regular looking audience members. They were friends of friends. They were on the comp list. You know what I mean? Or people that were like in the business or so I just was I don't know. I really didn't take it that seriously. So I would just go, come in, sit down, and that's it.
Yeah.
But one time there was this lady and I want to hear the story. This girl lady and she said to me, I hate it here. I was working the door, and I go, so you can sit down, I'll get your spot. And I gave her a glass of wine.
For free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, she goes, what's your name? And I go, Bobby. And she goes, my name is Ann. And then years later, she helped me get signed at Gersh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you see, that's where I met Matt Blake. So you meet a lot of audience members that's going to help you. So I was always pretty nice to everybody, I think.
Did you ever get laid on this job? Did you ever like meet a girl and go next door to the Hyatt or anything like that?
Dude, I would never get any pussy without stand up. And
what you mean.
And you know that. But when I was 23,
Yeah.
the only girls I had ever had sex with were prostitutes.
Really?
Yeah. And
The only ones?
yeah. So I didn't know what it was like to like really, I made out with girls, but I just didn't know how to do it. I was just so shy and meek. Is that a word?
Yeah.
And I remember I was a doorman in La Jolla, and there was this hot girl sitting in front row, and I used to host the shows in La Jolla on a Saturday. And then I remember this is when Princess Diana died.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So after the show, this hot chick looked really sad, and I had a good set. So I just kind of walked. She was like, we were walking out, from the showroom together because I had to close the show out. And I just said, I hope you're feeling better. Something like that. So then maybe 45 minutes later, I get a call from the Comedy Store, and Fred goes, hey, this girl's on the phone, asking for you. So I remember taking the phone, and she's like, hi, my name is Jennifer. You were really nice to me. I think you're really funny, too. You want to hang out? And then a week later, I'm eating her pussy in Oceanside, California, in her fucking mom's condo. What? Yeah. And it was like the first time where in my head I'm like, this is working.
Comedy.
Yeah. This is the fucking key that I've been fucking missing. Right? You know what I mean? That mysterious key. Because I was a short, little Asian ching chong. You know what I mean? In my eyes. You know what I mean? I'm just like this little, unfuckable little kid.
Yeah.
And now she was white, right? Hot, a beach girl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was the best. And so, people go, well, you did hot chicks. And I go, yeah, but it's only because of the fact that, I have to do extra shit. And I did those things that were scary. But anybody out there, if you don't have the, genetic lottery, you weren't born like you don't have a weird face.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
You have to add shit to your arsenal.
I'm only good for girls that are into Jewish-looking dudes.
Yeah, but dude, I'm saying right now that you wouldn't get the caliber, though, if you were working at Enterprise. If you and I were working at Enterprise, we would be dating Francesca Hilton.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's actually not the story about the party I was thinking about.
What?
I remember hearing once, I think from the way you got led up to some like Hollywood Hills party, and they were like every A-list celebrity. They named all these celebrities that were in there, and they're like, "Let's go!" It's like a hot tub party.
No, I know the story we were talking about. That wasn't it. I'm going to tell you the story. I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
So I was living. This is the story. All right. So I was in Silver Lake. Right. I was living in Silver Lake.
I remember that place.
Right.
Near Rage Against the Machine Gun.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I was in Silver Lake. It was like 4 a.m. I was sleeping. It was like a Saturday. And I usually turn my cell phone off, but it was on. And I look, and it's Mike Young. Right? So I pick it up. He goes, hey, Lee. And I go, yeah. And he goes, I don't know where I am. That's what he says. I go, what? I don't know where I am. I go, what do you want me to do?
I don't know where you are.
He goes, I don't know. You don't know where my car is. I need help. Like, he seemed distraught. So we look in the street. Where are you? Know what I mean? He goes, I think I'm on Vine. Right? So anyway, he's at that 3 of Clubs place.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But in, like, kind of like further down the street, south. I come pick him up.
Shady.
It's like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I go, where's your car? He goes, I don't remember where it is. He goes, he tells me where to go. Go up in the hills, take a right on and we're up in the hills, and we go to the top of the mountain or whatever, and there's this gated, beautiful house. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is not where your car is. You know what I mean? Because he's a comic.
Yeah.
Right? He gets out, and he pushes a code onto the fucking thing. The gate opens. Right? Oh. And then I drive into the fucking house. And we see his car, and I park. And now he's on the phone. And, I don't know what he's saying. I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean? And then he goes, you want to come in? I go, what? No, I'm tired. Whose house is this? Tobey Maguire. Right?
Huh.
He
Whoa.
goes, I go, whoa. Tobey Maguire. He's like, yeah,
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Leo, Toby, Mark Wahlberg, and Mike are going to jacuzzi. Right? And he had asked Toby if it was cool if I came in too. Right?
Yeah.
So then I go, no. I dropped him off and I fucking left.
Why no?
Because if there's a 1% chance that it was like a fucking gay thing, right? So I'm in the jacuzzi. Even if it's a 0.009% chance, I'm sitting in the jacuzzi, and then Spider-Man dick is in my face, I would have to suck it. You would have to.
Because it's so like, oh, this is what I...
Yeah, because your career and everything that you aspire for, all the hard work, they're all 3 together could bury the fuck out of you.
And they can make you massive, too.
Yeah, they can make you massive. And instead of like, even if it was like barely a chance, I wasn't going to risk it. Because I would have sucked it and I would have let them all 3 fuck me in the butt. You know what I mean? I would have. And then I would have left home there, not ever talked about it.
Yeah.
And it would just be one of those things that, like, I couldn't watch any of their movies again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can't watch Revenant to my girlfriend. Why? I don't know. Something happened. You know what I mean? But, like, you couldn't. So it would just ruin the rest of my life, really.
That's where I was after Natasha left me for that dude, that TV guy. Comedy Central ran it fucking 9 times a day. And I had to like not watch Comedy Central so I could see the guy who's fucking my girlfriend now.
Oh, Ron, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
You haven't talked to him, have you?
no. I might have seen him once in Toronto or something.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, I really didn't care about him at all.
Yeah.
He seemed fine.
It was a weird fucking thing, man.
What I know what you're talking about though, in terms of like I don't want to put myself in a position of having to make that choice.
Yeah.
Why?
I think that was good survival skills on my part.
Get out of there.
Yeah, you have to get out. Because some douchebag would have been like, yeah, I'm going to make connections.
Yeah.
And the dicks come out.
One thing got to another. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And then you have to make that rapid decision, right?
As long as you can think it out.
There's only one choice, is to suck their dicks. Think about it. Think about it. There's only one choice in that situation.
Yeah.
Right? What is the other choice? To go fuck you know what I mean?
Ew, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, that's over. You pack your bags.
What's your name again?
Yeah,
It's 2 E's, right?
AR. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's over. So then I made the right choice. And then and obviously they're not gay and nothing ever happened. And,
So they tell you in AA too, like just don't go to a bar. Don't go to a bar and say you're not going to enjoy it. Why would you even go there?
Yeah, don't go to a bar. So I'm not going to go to a jacuzzi party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you think, and how much did you have to deal with Peter Chen? And what was your relationship to him?
Okay, I'm going to say something about him. I'm going to say something about, for me,
Yeah.
Asians doing comedy started with Margaret Cho.
She was the first.
Anything before that
Yeah.
is bullshit. Anything before that was like when Johnny Yoon in the 70s, there was a Korean comic named Johnny Yoon. He later did a couple of movies called They Call Me Bruce.
Okay.
But Johnny Yoon's opening line was, hello.
Oh.
And that used to get a 3-minute applause break.
He was just cooning.
I mean, imagine white people who've never seen an Asian stand-up, right? And they sit there and some guy, you leave 45 seconds of not saying anything.
Selling out the race.
Right. But that is what he did to survive in the 70s. And I get it. I probably do the same thing. Probably
Yeah.
not, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then Atsuki was kind of, getting more toward,
But she had that. I remember that. Even those jokes, like she had a full geisha.
kimono, kimono.
And she goes, my name is Tamayo Otsuki. Otsuki. Oh no, Tamayo. It means pearl. Otsuki. It means harbor.
That's a funny joke.
Yeah.
That's a funny joke.
But she didn't have to present it in that Asian-y way.
Right.
I mean, she could do it right now. I mean, if you do that joke like, hey, my name is Tamayo Otsuki, what a lot of people know is what my name means in Japanese. Celebrate. It means pearl.
Yeah.
My last name means harbor.
Then the light would come on and they'd drag me off stage.
I would drag you up.
Yeah.
But if you're like, it's that cooning thing. I'll
Yeah.
sell out my race for the sake of a joke.
Yeah. And then Margaret was the first person where I saw and went, oh, I can do it now because
She's an American.
she's not even American. She's more my type of person, and she's doing a good thing, I think. And my problem with Peter Chen is that he's from that old school fobby thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, he never liked me in the beginning because he saw me as a threat.
Off the boat.
Yeah, he saw me as a threat.
Because he had the Asian spot.
That's right. That's what it was.
It's when you don't have any no white guy, when another white comic starts, another white male comic, no one's like, fuck. Because they're like, yeah, man, I don't know, we're all just doing jokes.
Yeah.
But if you're one of the only girls in town and another girl comes, it's like, oh, you hurt my chances of being needed.
Yeah,
You're
but
the
I don't.
only Asian?
Yeah, but I don't like. For me, the other night it went Ali Wong, Steve Byrne, and then me in a row.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you guys aren't doing hacky Asian material.
But to me, yeah, that doesn't. I don't think
Ali Wong's
that.
talking about her kids,
Yeah.
having kids.
Yeah.
Steve Byrne is talking about, the observation, not observation, whatever he does, you know.
Yeah.
And you're doing fucking degenerate jokes.
Yeah. But to me, it's like.
So what? Yeah. So Peter.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him, but I mean, I've seen him in some commercials, so he's doing fine in life. There was another guy in San Diego named Wally Wong.
Wally Wong.
Do you remember him?
Uh-huh.
And he hates me because and this is such bullshit. I'm gonna say the story one last fucking time, and I'm never gonna talk about it again. Okay? When I lived in San Diego, and Wally, if you're listening to this, fucking listen to me right now, you fuck. Okay? When I was living in San Diego and I was doing open mics, okay, I didn't have a lot of time, as you don't have time because you're new. Okay? I get Make Me Laugh, which is there's a TV show called Make Me Laugh on Comedy Central.
Okay.
All right? I booked it. Mark Cohen was the host. The reason why I have the manager I have now, Abby, is because of that show. Because she
still
was
with
there.
Abby?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
loyal as shit.
I'm very loyal. So, and what the show is that 3 comics are there. You have 3 contestants or two contestants. They call a comic and they try not to laugh while the comic tells jokes. And if they laugh, they lose money or whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? So, and Pat Buckles, who books it.
I like Patty
I
Buckles.
love Pat. She goes, don't worry about it. I know you don't have a lot of time, but they're going to get picked once. So just have a joke ready.
Yeah.
So I go, okay. And they keep picking me. Right? And in my head, I'm like, and after I did my last clean joke, I'm like, that's it. They can't pick me again. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, survival, like, think of something. So Wally Wong had a joke.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I know. I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
Has a joke about Asian people look alike. You know what I mean? We shared, my family and I shared one ID or whatever. Right? So then I go, I'll just do that, but switch it. So I'll say, Asian people look alike. I had my grandmother go to school for me. You know what I mean? She killed it at prom. You know what I mean? Whatever the joke was, right? So I took a premise, similar. I stole it.
Yeah.
Did it. Driving back, felt completely guilty. I did it on TV.
Good.
And I
Ooh.
walked up to him and I said, dude, I just did this Comedy Central show and I did one of your jokes. I mean, I changed it, but I admit it. I feel fucking bad. You want money? What do you want? All right?
Yeah.
And he goes, fuck you. He never talked to me ever since. In fact, you know, it's so funny because 8 years ago, I'm with Shema. And
Yeah.
Shema goes, oh, I got to show you this.
Oh, you started with her in San Diego, right?
Yeah, Shema too. And she now opens for Carrot Top. And so Shema gives me a letter that the Wally Wong had written to her, saying that, Shema, can you please help me in LA or whatever? I'll do anything. You know, I'll do any show, this and that. But if Bobby Lee is involved, I cannot do it. And it's like, bitch, like I would do a show with you, Wally? I'm a fucking headliner, bitch. You know what I mean? You're threatening Shema like I won't work with Bobby. I won't work with you, bitch.
Yeah.
But he did that. So he's still mad about it 20 years in.
That's the thing, too. That's what I mean about spiting yourself after a while. It's like, okay, so you're not going to do a show because this bigger person is going to be on it. So you're losing stage time for yourself.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. People's
over a thing. I mean, man.
and it's not like I fucking.
And it ain't like you're like, yeah, I'm right. You're like, I was wrong, man.
I admitted it up front. I mean,
But it's a joke, and calm down.
it's a hacky
It's been
joke
2 decades.
that if you did it anywhere in any club now, they would yank you off
Now,
stage.
yeah.
Right? So it's like back 20 years ago, you know what I mean?
Remember that guy who's doing that joke? He said somebody, the warm-up guy for some like show, like America's Got Talent or something. Somebody did a joke. Goes, that's my bit. I've been doing that bit for 20 years. Oh, it was the Greg Wilson did it.
Yeah.
He goes, that's my bit. I've been doing it for 20 years. It's bullshit. You stole it. And Greg's like, dude, I've never heard of you. You're a warm-up guy. I don't know. But then everybody's point was like, wait, you've been doing a bit for 20 years? How do you live with yourself?
Yeah. People get crazy about it, and it's like somebody said, I have this new bit. Anyway, somebody said some other open micer did my bit, then my new bit, one of my new bits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm not going to get into a fight over this.
Yeah,
I saw somebody go up to Freddie Soto once and say that. He goes, you know the thing where your dad stepped on roaches and left him there? He goes, you know, I do the same bit. And Freddie's like, oh, cool, man. He goes, yeah, so I mean, so what do you want to do? I'm like, I mean, yeah, keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it too. So
Yeah.
best of luck to you. I don't, I'm not going to enter into this fight.
Yeah.
You don't seem like you sound like you stole it from me. I know I didn't steal from you. So
Yeah,
fucking,
we're both going to do it, yeah.
yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Have a good
It's
time with
not,
it.
I mean, it's like there's linear. People know who's the thieves are.
Yeah.
People know.
So what did you learn overall from your time at the store? Like, what did you get? What did you lose? Not your time at the store, your time as a door guy. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
When I think about who I am as a comic, in my head, like I know, like we're talking about that with like in terms of like what kind of women you could get. I think of myself as that loser dude. You know, I know I'm doing better now. I have a TV show and I'm a successful comic. So some people might look at me in a certain way, but how I view myself, the category I put myself in, it's kind of just a mediocre looking, just dude.
Yeah.
You know, and where I view myself as a comedian is I still sort of associate myself with being a door guy.
Yeah.
I still feel like a door guy.
But I think that that's the best way to be, though. Because the thing is that when I go to the Comedy Store, right, I look at the doorman. I honestly don't view myself in a different way than them.
Right.
Like I look at the guys, so I might not even know their name, but I don't feel like, oh my god, I'm Bobby Lee and I have all these TV credits. You know what I mean, I say what's up or whatever. Like, and the thing is that it always reminds me also of how difficult it was. You know what I mean, to get to where I am now.
Yeah, they had. Sometimes I forget that level of like uncertainty and like, what's going on? How do I do this? I look at them like, hey, how you doing? And like, well, how do you? What?
Yeah.
I mean, I always looked at Galern coming when I signed up for open mic for Potluck before I was an employee and looking at a park and I was like, that's a professional comedian.
Yeah.
How does he park here? How does he get to that level?
I know.
And it was just like, I forget sometimes, but like, hey, I gotta talk.
I
to
tell
them
a story to the doorman now, right?
Yeah.
That I go, especially if they were working the back door, because I was working the back door in 1999 or 2000. It was my last 6 months there, and I was sitting there, and Bob.
You used to book the Tonight Show, though.
Yeah, those guys.
Bob and Ross.
Bob and Ross, yeah. They came up to me. They were Bob and Ross. And I go, cool. And they go, we booked the Tonight Show. Oh, you want to come in? No, we want to talk to you about it. And I go, what? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we've been watching you. You know what I mean? Because I do Fallout spots and whatever. You know what I mean? And this is right a month before Mad TV. I even auditioned, really. So they had already been aware of me before Mad TV.
You were trying to get in Montreal and couldn't.
No.
Yeah.
And then it took me maybe 9 months to a year to get back actually on this night show. I mean, I booked Mad TV and then I did the night show, but they had came up to me before that. So I was already on there. And I feel like me working the door, you know what I mean, was a good thing in that way where I think people look at you, especially if you become funny, somebody that went through boot camp, you know, and was able to survive these difficult elements because it's very humbling to work the door. You're there for a long time, from 7 or 6
Do you have to
till 2, 3 in the morning.
Mop up vomit.
Yeah, there's vomit you have to clean up. You have to fucking manhandle drunk people outside. You have to
It's not like you're a big guy.
right. You see comics that get passed that you know you're funnier than.
It's almost like those comics only serve the purpose of driving you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I don't even know if you're around anymore. You might have been a dream.
Yeah,
The dream served a purpose. Be like, fuck, I'm better than him. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and people look at that as like a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think that it motivates you, right? Like I still to this day have never been to Montreal. You know what I mean? And I think the reason why I don't go is because of that anger when I was in New Faces and I couldn't
Chest
go.
is there.
What?
The chest is still open.
Yeah.
For that.
No, I don't. I'm not mean to the guy. I'm the new guy. What's his name? I like him
Robbie?
a lot. Yeah, Rob. He hugs me, and they offer me. They offered it to me.
Yeah.
I said, I don't go. And they go, why? Because of what you did in New Faces.
Wouldn't take you. Or when they did
20
take you,
years
like,
ago.
oh, you're on Matt TV, so we can't take you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I still have. It's not a bitter thing or fuck you, the Montreal Comedy Festival. It's one of those things where it's just kind
I
of.
just don't care anymore.
It just motivates me. You know what I mean? In a way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I like to get to the point like, oh, you're still mad? I'm like, no, I'm not mad. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go to your party. I'd rather go see a movie. I just don't care about your thing. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But we're just not friends.
No, I'm friends with them. I
Yeah.
I don't want to do the ethnic show.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do the dirty show. I want to do the gala show.
Dirty Show's fun. They never had me do a gala. Dirty Show's fun.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? They tape you. You're there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're
Right?
fun.
I mean, there's a lot of elements that I'm like, you know what I mean?
Bring your girl up.
Maybe I'll go.
Dude, the Nasty Show is because here's the deal: you go there a week before it's just French, and that's the only English speaking show. So you're there with like 6 guys, and you just become really close with them.
Yeah.
6 dudes, and you run the city.
Yeah.
You just run around. I did it with Jeff Ross once, and Jeselnik, and Big J, and it was like, man, we all became really good friends. You know, just sat in the back steps in between your spot. You had 3 spots on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday, and just in between, you go do 15, then come sit in the back steps with everybody, smoke cigarettes, do whatever you want. I don't know. I mean,
you know what? You just convinced me to do it.
really?
I swear to God, you did. And I want to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, are we fucking done now? Man, this is fucking
We're
long,
about done.
bro.
Let's talk about your new podcast first. I will mention something on the intro too.
What? All right, so you introduce it in the intro?
Yeah.
I have a podcast called Tiger Belly. It's under All Things Comedy. And so,
Oh, nice. I'm one of the founders of All Things Comedy.
yeah, well, if you were one of the founders, then it's so weird that you didn't even know that was under your umbrella.
I'm not
really.
a good employee.
Yeah.
Founder. I'm just like, I'm sure you guys got it right.
Yeah. But so I'm under that umbrella, and it's me and my girlfriend and my friend Gilbert, and it's really fun.
What do you, any theme or anything? It's just you
We talk
just
about
bodily?
my sexual problems.
Yeah.
And I talk about racism. Like we really harsh on Asians. We talk
really?
about that. Yeah.
How many is Gilbert Asian?
He's a Filipino.
How many hookers do you think you fucked in your time?
I mean, that's a fucking what?
You already said when you were 23 you'd only had sex with hookers.
I know, but that's a fucking what?
It's too much.
All right, let me think.
We can. I mean, sure.
Let me think. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously.
I honestly don't know.
Do you think it's 1,000?
No.
Okay. Now
Whoa,
we're-
whoa,
I just put that out, so now we're
Wait,
talking.
not even half that amount.
Do you think it's more than 100 or less than 100?
This is where I'm gonna.
Okay.
It's close. It's close. It's close. Because you have to understand. Just listen to me, Ari. You have to understand this. When I was in high school, all right, a senior in high school, right, I started going then, right, and since it's only $50. But no, back then it was $40 to have sex with a girl.
40 at Adelitas?
Yeah, back then in the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, in '89.
Man, it's gone up in value less than gas.
Yeah. So we used to go then, and then when I was a waiter at a restaurant on Wednesday nights, me and the staff,
Sand
staff.
Dog?
What?
In Sand Dog?
What's Sand Dog?
That's what the Marines call San Diego.
Yeah, Sand Dog, yeah.
Yeah.
In San Diego, we used to go on every Wednesday, and we used to do the trifecta. We'd do
What?
three girls on one night.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And we would go to Adelita first, and then we would go to
Adelita,
Chicago
nut,
Club.
Wait, nut, and then we'll go have a burrito, and then go to Chicago?
Yes, nut. Eat a burrito, another burrito, or you know what I mean, and then or go get buy like a
Dr.
ceramic
Joe.
Bart Simpson or whatever, and then you would go and do another one. Yeah, we would do trifectas.
Wow.
So, and that was in before 95, so 93. So it's like I've been there. You know, I'm not saying that what I did was clean or
No judgment.
I'm not proud of it, but you know what I mean. It's how I survived. I literally never thought I would ever get laid in my life. So what do you do when you're like young, you have a little bit of cash, you're right by fucking Tijuana Funland?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you did it. A lot of people did it.
Yeah. I don't mind hookers. I think I might be done after Thailand. It was like this.
Wait.
is gross.
Oh, you went to Thailand when?
April.
Oh, that's right. I didn't talk to you since then. Would you went?
Yeah, I went.
Where'd you go?
Which hooker?
No, what place?
Oh, I went to Phuket for just one night. Then I went to the island for this full moon party, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan.
Yeah.
And then I went to Bangkok for a couple days. Then I went to Chiang Mai in the north.
Wait, in Bangkok, did you go to a place?
No.
Oh.
But the guy I was with fucked a lot of hookers. He had just gotten out of a relationship. And it
Yeah.
was like bad for like 2 years. And
Yeah.
he's like, it's time for my sex vacation.
Yeah.
So he went nuts. I just came with him a couple of times. But he would always find the hot ones. And one time he walked in, he's like, "Oh, excuse me." And he walked like right as we were walking down the street. He goes, "Yep, got to."
Did you do any?
Well, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll go with you because he's been pushing
Did you
me.
do any?
Yeah.
How many?
And so I just one. And I went in and I was like, "Oh, that was the only hot one." And you get
fucked
stuck.
up. I told you to go to Bangkok and go to this place called Amsterdam. Oh, yeah. You go in there.
Oh no, I did go there.
You did?
With the 3 floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't find anyone in there?
I had a genital wart pop up then. At that point, and it was like, I don't
No,
want to
are
give
you being
genital
kid- are you
wart to
real?
Yeah. I don't want to give a wart to a fucking Thai hooker.
Wait,
That
is
seems
that from
wrong.
you have STD?
A wart? I'm sort of an STD. It goes
Yeah.
away, but you know,
What? It's a wart? There's a pus in there, or
nah.
it just comes up?
And my wart, I mean, like it is like that big.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
It just means that some British dude's gonna get it.
Yeah, fuck the English.
Yeah. I just didn't want to do it.
All right, I know you're right. That's
But the
good.
guy I was with talked to a guy. I was like, "Come on, man, these girls are all real cool." And he went home with one back to our hotel we were staying at.
Yeah.
Hooked up, and he goes, "How much I owe you?" She goes, No. This one's on me."
They're
Which I
great
heard
over there.
about.
They're great.
They're just like, "You seem cool. I don't want
Yeah,
this
that's
to be
great.
about money."
That's great. I've always had to pay every single time.
But the one I was with, it was just lame. It was like, you gotta wear a condom. It's a thick condom.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this isn't. She's just laying there, and it's like, what?
It's also humid and hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a mosquito.
Yeah.
Keeps stinging me.
You're getting malaria.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I had a girl at home, and it was like, I just got late. I'll get laid again in another week.
Yeah.
You know, but at the time, like when you took me down there and I couldn't really get laid, like, yeah, this is fucking valuable. I want it. You know, when
Yeah,
I went
I
to
mean-
Brazil, it's like, I want this. This was just like, it was just a lay there girl. But honestly, then I heard right next door, my buddy, you hear, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
well, he's
yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah.
She seems to enjoy it.
Like when I went to Amsterdam,
Yeah.
I never got really laid.
You didn't?
No, this is what I would do. I was shooting that movie with Michelle Yeoh,
Yeah.
you know, from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was shooting a movie with her. And I
The
did
young one, the recruit? from
No,
Crouch-
the older one, the fucking Meryl Streep of Asia. Oh. Right, so I would be having dinner with her like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she goes, "So what are you going to do after?" "I'm going to just go back to my hotel room, take a moped to Amsterdam." Right?
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would
That's great.
I would take the shower and then I would lay on my stomach and they would eat my butthole for 15 minutes. You can ask them.
What?
Yeah. And I did that and then I would
You
and,
did that?
Yeah, and I would pull my pants back up, give them whatever the bot was.
Bot.
Yeah, and then I would leave. And I did that out of power.
Really?
Yeah, control. I didn't get off on it. It was a weird thing. I need therapy, I think. If I think about it. Because just one of the things I was just on my stomach, and while she's eating my butter, I'm just kind of nodding at the world like, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Like leaning back.
Yeah, that's who I am.
Your dick
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. I have a bit where I do like a sitcom headshot thing where I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then something.
Yeah, it's just like you ponder about life. You ponder about, you know what I mean?
Really clear your mind while that
It
bundle's
really
getting
does.
eaten.
It really does.
I only had that once. I felt bad for her. Not as a hooker, a regular girl.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, you don't want to be back there.
yeah, but I swear to God, I'm like universally funny. Like I don't even know the language. I can make anyone laugh.
Sure can.
No, really, I just do a funny dance in the room. I mean, I'll do stuff to lighten the mood, right? And then they're
in
like,
Thailand.
Oh, what?
You know, I was gonna say maybe you're Asian, but not in Thailand. You're not Asian. You're just somebody.
Yeah. I had to like step it up, right? I tip more, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that I did it. I used to do it.
That was your advice to me when at Adelita's. You're like right off the bat, like, just pay them early, right before they even start.
Yeah.
Give them an extra 20, so they know like, hey, this is all yours.
Yeah.
If it's 70, here's 90.
I know. I feel so bad. I taught all you guys those bad things.
Why? That's the right way to do it.
I know, but I want to name the names, but so many guys would go down there. I mean, I remember
You're the
when my
lineage,
brother,
lineage to Bobby Lee.
Mike Black,
Mike
yeah,
Black.
man, would drive down there in his shitty car, and then like it would break down. I remember it broke down, and they had to hitchhike. I mean, it was just like
Adventures.
fucking crazy, dude.
All right, so everybody listen to Tiger
Belly, all
Yeah.
things comedy.
You got any dates you want to promote coming up? Like,
I am playing.
3 weeks from now and on.
When does this air?
Probably 3 weeks from now.
Fuck it.
Unless you have a date, I'll just hold it till then. A big thing coming out.
No. I mean, I can look away. Just stay right here. I have dates. I'm going to go to my website.
May. Give me some May dates.
May
or
okay,
June.
hold on. Bobby
Yeah.
Lee Live.
Or the next time you're going out like 4 weeks.
Just
in a
hold
row.
on.
Okay. Bobby Lee Live is your website?
Yeah. Baby, Instagram, Twitter, Bobby Lee Live.
Okay.
Here's BobbyLeeLive.com, and then I'm going to go to here.
What is that? Dates? Tour?
Yeah, I go to my tour dates thing, okay? All right, it's loading. Just relax.
I'm pretty relaxed.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then tour.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, I really...
Well, Bobby's looking. I'll be in Madison, Wisconsin. I'll be in Nashville right before Bonnaroo, June 8th. I'll be in Madison and maybe hopefully Appleton in May.
Okay, what is it? And what dates?
Just give me some May.
May 6th.
May 6th, yeah.
May 6th, I'll be in Gotham Comedy Club.
In New York.
May 12th, I'll be in Stand Up Live, Phoenix, Arizona.
You should stay an extra day at Gotham.
Why?
Me and Diaz are going to go see David Gilmour in Madison Square Garden on May 9th.
I don't want to watch him by himself.
Fair enough. So what? Say him again.
I already said it, but I'm doing Gotham Comedy Club May 6th through the 7th.
In New York City.
May 12th through the 14th, Stand Up Live in Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona, May 12th to the 14th. Go to Bobby Lee Live for tickets and listen to his, really most important, listen to his podcast.
Yeah,
Let's get
Tiger
that going.
Belly.
Let's get that going.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know what? Can I say something?
What?
I've been wanting to do your podcast for a fucking year,
Yeah.
and I've been asking you for a fucking
I've been
year.
gone for most of it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
A fucking year.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just glad that it came about.
Yeah.
Okay? And next time you're here, I want you to do Tiger Belly. It's fun.
Absolutely.
We had cameras. It's great.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
The whole setup.
We talk about everything that we talked about here.
Yeah.
My girlfriend knows all about my fucking problems.
Oh, nice. That's
all the
helpful.
prostitutions, everything.
Instead of like, shut the fuck up, my girlfriend's here. It's like, you didn't do it now. You did it 10 years ago. People get weird with that, like, not owning up to their past.
No, you know what it is?
It's like, I don't do it anymore. Who cares what I did?
Podcasts have taught me. First of all, podcasts have kind of reinvented my career
Why?
because people knew me as this like wacky sketch guy on a stupid sketch show, right?
Not the fun degenerate that you are.
But I went on like Opie and Anthony and all the things I've done. I just talk like this and about my life. I don't give a fuck, and it created a different audience for me. And now I go to shows. I sell tickets because of it, and it's almost doubled my fucking shit.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, I'm
Just
grateful.
to be the honest comic that you are. Just to be like, well, here's who I really am. So
Yeah, because I don't really. I mean, networks hate me or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
you can't. I mean, NBC, you can't be who you are.
And I've done several things for them. Yeah,
No way. You have
No.
to be like, hey, we need you to bury a lot of this.
I mean, for Love, what Judd did was in between seasons, he goes, Judd Apatow, come into the writers' room because we don't know much about your character
Season of what?
of Love on Netflix.
Oh, you're on that show?
Yeah.
I think about Love in general.
Yeah,
You're on that
Love
show?
on Netflix.
Is that the Aziz show?
No, that's called Master of None.
Is that the Paul Rush show?
Yeah, I'm on the Paul Rush show.
Oh hell yeah, I love Paul Rust.
So I go in there, and the writer's like, "So what's your sexual deal?" And they would ask me, and I literally told them everything.
Yeah.
Like I talked about now, and they wrote an episode around it.
Really?
Yeah. Like in the show, I'm shooting it. I'm not going to now. But anyway, I don't want to reveal anything. But I'm just saying that it's the first time in my life being on something where I don't have to hide who I am.
And a mask.
You know what I mean? I mean, I show up. I'm professional. I know my lines, all that stuff. Yeah. In terms of like my voice, I'm not a sexual deviant. I'm just a guy that swears.
You get down once in a while.
I talk about things.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Bobby. Zehakol. Thank you, Bobby Lee, for talking to me. This was recorded back when I was in LA. It was probably recorded 2-3 months ago. So all of Bobby Lee's dates are probably invalid. I should look up his dates, actually, now that I think about it. BobbyLeeLive.com, right? I remember right. Bobby Lee Live. Yep, Bobby Lee Live. Was Bobby Lee taken? Almost definitely. Oh, what a funny, stupid picture of Bobby Lee. May 25th is over. Oh, he's taking Matt Egger with him. Parlor Live this weekend in Bellevue, Washington, where I'm going to be June 21st. But I'm going to be in actual Washington, not fucking Bellevue. Between June 9th through 11th with Matt Egger. Then June 6th, and then Raleigh, North Carolina is going to be at Charlie Goodnight, June 16th through the 18th. Sacramento, the Punchline, July 22nd through 24th. Arlington, Philadelphia, Brea, Calgary, Oxnard, San Francisco. Get tickets at BobbyLeeLive.com. I will also be in Calgary, July 14th, I think, for an Ari Shaffir and Friends show. Everybody put pressure on Bert Kreischer to come with me. Go tweet him and say, Bert, come to that show, please. It'll be fun. I already did my hour there, so I probably only have like 20 minutes of new material, so I'm not going to do another hour there. But I want to see Stampede, so it's Ari Shaffir and Friends take Stampede. Matt Egger will be coming with me. Kathleen McGee will be joining us. And, yeah, you guys, Pressurized Kreischer. Danish and O'Neill have a new web series out starting today. Danish and O'Neill, episode 1, Babysitters, is out now. Check that out. I tweeted about it. Nashville, Wednesday. Seattle, Los Angeles at the Comedy Store. Other places. I'll be doing my Storyteller show in Edinburgh, in fucking Montreal. Probably 4 nights. Dublin. Edinburgh, all of August after that, except for Dublin's August 3rd. And then Edinburgh starts August 4th through the 26th. Every single night at the Hive. Get tickets now. Tell all your friends that are coming to the Edinburgh Festival. Check out Ari Shaffir if you want to see what an actual American hour looks like. No theme, all funny, solid. This is the hour I'm going to be recording. I delayed it so that I could get these fucking 30 reps in Edinburgh. Otherwise, I would have already recorded it probably this weekend, actually. This coming weekend, that's when I would have done it. These pubes are still not grown back from the pube beard on Tripoli. It looks weird. Dick looks weird with no pubes around it. I mean, some pubes, but not nearly as many. It's like I have pubipecia. Alopubia. That's what I should have said. I apologize. You guys, to my listeners, I apologize for not going straight to alopubia. So that's it. Did you guys enjoy the episode? I mean, Mitzi really did have us be door guys. I'm really sure to learn. But man, it was shitty. It was shitty and it was fun. It was some of the best times of my life. The only shitty part was not knowing what the path was going to be. Was not knowing that eventually this was going to turn into like a solid career where I'm fine, where I can survive any sort of backlash against me
based on me and my enjoyment of tearing down idols. People got mad at me for making fun of Beyonce. People got mad at me for making fun of that fucking Marine Blue Angel who died. And that's what I do, you guys. If you got an idol, I'm going to try to destroy it. Prince, anyone who dies and everyone reveres them, that's when a comic, the type of comedy that I do, that's when we go after them. Like, fuck you, don't worship anyone. Is that it? I gotta start taking skateboard lessons. That's what I'm gonna do. For all my tour dates, go to arithegreat.com or arishafir.com. Use my Amazon link to do all your Amazon shopping, and I get cash back, and it helps pay for this podcast and for my continued lack of respect for any sort of backlash. I will continue giving you guys. I don't make a lot of money. I don't have fly out or girl money, but I do have, use a second condom midway through sex money. And if you support me, not only do I kick it back and pay the podcast guests, which I believe every podcast should do. Every podcast is making money. Should give some of that to their guests. Bobby Lee took 2 hours of his time to come do a fun podcast with me. Why shouldn't he get paid if I'm making money? If the MeUndies money is coming in, if the Amazon.com money is coming in, why not kick some of that back to him? That's my feeling. I hate the UCB. I hate the UCB for not paying their comics, for not paying them, the people who make audience members come out to see the shows. I hate them for that. So I won't be a part of that. And I won't want to wait until there's a union who says you have to pay. I'm just preemptively saying when comics do work, when comics are funny, that's what their profession is. So they use their profession to make someone money. They should get some of that money. So I pay the comics. So when you go to Amazon.com through Ari the Great, there's a banner right there for Amazon.com and another one for Amazon.ca if you're in Canada. If you go to that, you will support me paying these comics, doing what's right. For the podcasts who don't pay the comics, hey, you know what? It's a new medium. I don't expect you to, but my feeling is you should. You should pay them. Because they're coming out of your way to fucking do the podcast. Well, they're getting press out of it. They're getting more known. You know what? Yeah, sure, maybe. But you know what else you get known for? Doing the Tonight Show. And they pay. So, you know what I mean? That's not 3 hours. Pay the comics, man. Pay the comics. Duncan does. Duncan Trussell pays. So if you can't use my Amazon link, use Duncan Trussell's. That money also goes to pay guests. $100. Not a lot, but a fucking enough to buy a nice date. Go on a nice date. And then I also make sure to put their Twitter account on the website, arithegreat.com. I do a webpage, if you don't know, on every single episode of this podcast. I put a webpage out where it shows all the music, shows some details, shows the comics website, maybe some videos of them. Like last week, Nick Yusuf, so there's a link to buy his album on there. Sure, I promote the comedians, but also pay them. So use my Amazon link. Go to arithegreat.com. It's right there on the right-hand side. Thank you for doing it if you already have. I appreciate it. And that money goes to, not really to pay me, but to make me a completely free comedian where I don't have to back down to anybody. I can do what I think is funny. If someone doesn't like it, it's almost always because you're closely associated with that subject. And that doesn't matter to me. It means I'm doing the right thing. I don't want people to hate me, but the result of being bigger is occasionally, people won't like what you do. It's almost always people who have not analyzed the work. So I get that now, and I don't care. It's almost funny. I read a page of Huck Finn, and so I think Huck Finn should be banned. It's embarrassing. That's it, you guys. Thank you very much, Bobby Lee, for tuning in. And seriously, Citibank Field, correct your anti-guns out program. I don't want to compare it to fucking Nazism, but it's worse than Nazism, for sure. For sure. I mean, some of those pictures with the Nazis, those Jews, you know how starved they are? You know how you could see how starved they were? Oh, this is a great point. You know how you could see how starved the Jews were, how thin and gaunt they were? Because their guns were out. Because the sun was out and their guns thereby and therefore were out. I gotta do another episode of Dope Meals. Right now, I think I might go to fucking Harry and Ida's. No, I'll get a salad. I've been bad. I'm gonna go to Bonnaroo and I'm gonna eat pretty much only funnel cakes for 4 days. That's it, you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next week with Big J Okerson when we do Garbage People. This has been Ari Shaffir for episode 267, Door Guys number 2 with Bobby Lee. Signing out.